Welcome to the rare afternoon stream. Chad is not on screen today for some reason. I Streamlabs might be fucked right now. I'm not sure. Uh, that's okay. Or maybe I just need to log in. I don't know. I don't know. Just try and put it in again. Oh, it's the same. Try it again. Okay, I guess Streamlabs chat does not want to work today. That's okay. No one ever liked it. Uh, anyway, right. Welcome to the rare afternoon stream. The only stream you can watch ever in Europe unless you sleep badly. Uh, great news. I okay. I have joined the gaming bourgeoisie. As you can see, the rounded corners are it is a new me, new Nintendo Switch. It's paid $1 million for it, and it's here. That's supposed to put it. Here we go. This is the beautiful world of Mario Kart. Um, I've been really enjoying it, and that's a problem. Because it's been a week and I'm still like enjoying it, and that's a problem. Because if I can't hate it, I can't make a video. I can't make a video for ad revenue to get my money back. Which I can't make a rage bait video to get my money back, which is a shame. So in the corner, you may have noticed the Nintendo Switch 2. That is a video. This is a video. It is this. This is the Stop Defending Mario Kart World video. It is an hour long, and I think if I watch this by itself, I'll probably forget it as soon as I start playing the game. But if I watch them in parallel, it will turn me into a hater. So this is the goal of our stream today. Almost a challenge of sorts. Almost like an Arlo challenge of sorts. Now, speaking of challenges, Nintendo stole my shit. They stole my shit of making a useless challenge, but like they made it real. Because they made the DK challenge, and I had a look at it the other day. And I beat all the retro challenges in like 20 minutes because they're not even challenges. They're like, beat the first level of Donkey Kong. That's not an exaggeration. The DK challenge is straight up about as much of a challenge as the Kraid challenge is, which like it isn't. Hi, Ski. Yeah, we're gonna. Warning, if you love this game and you don't want to hate it, don't watch this because you'll be hater. You'll be drinking the haterade by the end. Eat a banana. Extreme difficulty. Eat a banana. Again, chat is not working today, and I don't know why. Eat a banana. That would be hard for me because I don't really like them. Online post is like, would you eat a banana for $10 million? And I'm like, I don't know. Is the audio balance good? I figured it. Here's the thing. We have the game and we have the video.
On January 16th, 2025,
How does this
Nintendo
sound?
teased their biggest game yet.
I'm not turning yet.
It was Mario Kart. Of course it was Mario Kart. Mario Kart 9 was
should
long
turn
overdue,
it
but we didn't know
down
what
a
this
little.
was. So we had to wait
I
a
don't
few
know.
months to find out. Eventually, we got our Nintendo Direct. Everyone held their breath as they waited to see what the next Mario Kart was going to be.
I think that seems okay. Yeah, this is not this. Yeah, this is it's against TOS to be a hater. New Twitch TOS, no hating. Immediately, like 50% of the site gets banned. Sounds fine. Okay, we're good. The soundtrack is so good though. Oh yeah, I'm alright. The challenge will begin at 3, 2, 1, go.
On January 16th, 2025, Nintendo teased their biggest game yet.
We're just gonna do online races.
Mario Kart
and of
9
course
was
we got
long
my
overdue,
awesome
but we
girl,
didn't know
Baby
what this
Daisy.
was. So
We love
had
her.
to wait a few more months to find out.
She's awesome.
Eventually, we got our Nintendo
Basically,
Direct.
she's
Everyone
kinda
held their
awesome.
breath as they waited to see what the next Mario Kart was going to be.
You can go off the
Here's the-
racetrack
oh.
and drive virtually
Okay, we're always
everywhere in this world.
Okay.
This game was open world, like really open.
This is my
30
first time
unique
playing this
tracks,
through the
all
capture
connected by
card. I
one
don't know
massive
how
map, a
how
map
good
that
it'll
holds
feel.
24 players.
This is
was
a
different,
beautiful
but they kept going. They made an
beautiful
entirely new
world
tracking system,
we're in.
introduced
It
a
won't be
brand new
beautiful
game,
by the time we're
and
done,
I don't know
so
why
take
they
it
did
in
this,
while you
but they
can.
added the cow from Moo Moo Meadows as a playable character.
Okay,
People were
I'm just-
skeptical. Of
I'm just
course.
taking-
Why is this game open world? All they told us
Okay,
is
yeah,
the
it looks,
collectibles and
stream
the
looks
weather
good.
changes. What are you hiding? And the tracks they showed off, they just seemed kind of straight. Is this even
Ah.
fun? And wait, hold on. Is that
Look at these beautiful piranha plants.
$80? People didn't like it.
Yeah,
Nintendo has
the
never
price.
received this much hate before, but they've also
Video
never
is
received this much
louder,
money,
okay,
and they were
fucking
printing.
fine.
Because at the end of the day, people wanted Mario Kart, and when the Switch 2 finally came out, hundreds of people
Fine.
lined up for it.
Actually,
It is
you know
the
what?
only
I need
launch
to put
title
on
for the
subs.
Switch 2. Yet despite that, it
Oh.
made the Switch 2 the fastest selling console
Those are
of
very
all
small
time, and it had a
subs.
lot to live up
Oops.
to. Before we get started, I just want to say I'm doing a Switch 2 giveaway with Mario Kart World included. All you have to do to enter is subscribe and follow the instructions in the pinned comment. Alright, back
A
to
free
June 5th.
one?
I was really
Is this
excited
the
for this
Bearman
game, so for
video?
whatever
No,
reason,
this is
I
by
decided to go
Xander
live for an
J.
entire week straight. I figured that this game would
Fuck
probably
yes,
be
he's
one of
giving
my
away a
favorites.
free
But,
game
as you
he
can probably
hates.
tell by the length of
He
this
hates it
video,
so
that
much,
didn't
he's giving it
happen.
away.
Now, before I critique this shit out
Hello.
of this game, I want to make something clear. I am not a Mario Kart
Here's
fan.
another baby.
I am not a pro, I am not nostalgic, I am just a guy who's played this game far too much. Now, I'm sure some of you are going to be watching this
Unfortunately, I am
live.
also a
If
pro
so,
and
whenever you hear
nostalgic.
this sound effect, it means I'm showing
This
something
dude
on
went
screen
in the
that's
mud.
relevant to what I'm saying. With that being said, this is my first experience of Mario Kart.
Mud.
World. The first thing I wanted to try was free roam. This was by far the biggest selling point of this game. Nintendo could not stop talking about this free roam.
You can enjoy free roam. Free roam.
Free roam is
But
fun.
we really didn't understand what it was all about. The one and only time we saw them play
Ow.
free roam was when they just drove around the track. Thanks, Nintendo. Very informative. But what is it actually like? I happened to spawn near the Great Question Block Ruins, which was actually shown off in the trailer. There had to be something
Is
interesting.
better or
Pretty
worse
soon
than
I found a
sectioning off
question
parts of the
mark
open
in it.
world
Upon
for
driving
horses?
over it, I was rewarded
Oh.
with a sticker. Okay. I had to get down somehow, so I decided to try to get as many tricks as I could on the way down. This look familiar?
Oh, Peach Coin.
Yeah, I'm that guy. Eventually, I came across a P-switch.
Oh, we're
This
going
was one of the
septic
main
again,
things they
sorry.
hyped up for the open world. Were these going to be like the shrines from Breath of the Wild?
Yeah,
Shrines.
I guess we're at
Don't
the
say
stale
shrines. What shrine?
chill.
Where?
right?
Ritazumo, Himakusasa, Tamul, Maglatan, Hano Oa, Jitan Sami. Those two
What?
are right next to each other. Wait,
Who is
this
that?
is a Mario Kart World video. How much does this game cost again?
They got guest commentators on this video.
This shit costs $80. My apologies. Please continue. This is gonna be good.
Thank you, Skitty. So yeah, this is my first experience of a P-switch. Gather
You're
blue coins
welcome.
along a blue narrow road.
I didn't know that they had guest commentators.
You get these blue coins and then you're done. That's it. That's the whole mission. And the
Coin.
reward for completing it
I got
is
you.
a sticker. Fun. At this point, my frustration was growing, so I decided to join a friend. Oh, right. I have to pay for online.
Did this guy not like do the Grand Prix first?
Shit.
When I joined my friend Penguin, he was just driving around in circles collecting these snack bags.
I just did this for like 5 hours.
We'll talk about the skins more
Me
later,
too.
but just know for now that the very premise of getting them is just driving around and collecting these snack bags. What? Bro, this
That
is
is
such a
Canadian National
farm.
Games
After farming some
cost
skins, we
$80.
both got kind of bored and decided we
Could
should
you
try out the new knockout tour.
imagine?
It's 20 out of 24.
What if they were 85?
It
That's
doesn't let
crazy.
you join.
Unable to join the knockout tour.
Unable to join the knockout.
Cost the Kings
That
of
is the message
Ransom.
that plagues me to
I
this
wouldn't
day.
say
What does
that,
this mean?
but
Why
I
am
mean,
unable to join knockout tour? Is it my fault?
you
Is
know,
it his?
with the
answer
currency
is neither.
conversion,
Knockout
yeah,
tour
it
just
does
doesn't
get-
work online with friends. But we didn't know that. This
You're
message
looking at
doesn't
over
clearly
like
communicate
600.
that. So
Okay,
we ended up spending
finally.
almost 30 minutes trying to play knockout tour with each other, and it was
Warrior
never
Shipyard.
possible. We are struggling to get the online to function. We just want to play a race together.
Oh, yeah,
and like,
people can
why?
do
Why make it this way?
knockout
I can play
tour
knockout tour
with
split
friends.
screen online.
I think you can
So why can't
now.
I play with a friend who lives in a different house? We gave up on knockout tour and did a normal race, but the lobby was seemingly empty. Where was everyone? Well, they were
Where was
racing.
everyone?
It turns out their race started right before I joined the lobby, which meant that I have to now wait for their race to end before I can play. I don't want to wait
Yeah,
for these
they're-
guys to finish their friggin' race. I don't
No,
care
they're
about that.
finishing. Yeah, so we just can fuck off while they're.
Fast forward a few minutes and we did make it into a race. Finally, I can play the game. I was given the choice to vote between 3 different
Finally, I'm
racetracks:
playing the
Koopa
game
Troopa
too.
Beach,
Oh, we're doing
Salty
Whistle
Salty
Top.
Speedway, or Peach
Alright,
Beach. What I didn't realize
okay,
is that
these
it
people
hardly
aren't
mattered because I
super
wasn't
pro.
really racing that track. I was racing to that track and then one lap of the track. Dude, I don't know what's happening.
I don't know. Yeah.
In the race, I realized just how chaotic 24 players actually is. Oh my gosh. It
It is very chaotic, as
hell.
we are about
If
to
you
see.
stop
This
for
is our
like
first
literally a
beautiful
second,
race.
you
I
will
really gotta
It's
divide
funny
my
looking back and
attention
realizing
between
that I
the
noticed
video
the
and
fatal
the
flaw
game.
of this mode literally
With-
in my first race.
With
Once I
Pikmin,
finished the
it
race,
was
it put
like
us back
that
in
shit is
free
like
roam.
second nature to me. This
That
game
was
not
it.
as much.
Yeah, that was the whole
It's only
thing.
been a week.
Give
Give me a
30
break.
seconds. Why did it not just go straight to the next race? I don't know. Is there some reason I'm missing that we have to go back to
Like,
free roam
ironically,
for a
I'm
minute
not
between races?
that used to the 3-lap
I think it's
versions
all,
of
like,
most of these
very
tracks yet,
like,
so how?
This is kind of how it has to
As you can
work.
see,
Right. You can clearly tell by this point I'm getting very concerned of the state of this game. Time and time again, every voting option was between free
Oh, fuck.
intermissions and random. And people always chose the intermissions,
as you
not
see.
because they wanted to play them, but because they just didn't know they were voting for them. Nintendo, you've done a horrible job communicating.
I think they
what
did
kind of
knew
track
that they
they're
were
voting
voting
This
for
is
them
what a
for
traditional
that.
free lap track looks like, and this is what an intermission looks like. They are almost identical. The only differentiating factor is the arrows. So I spent the rest
no
of
more
the day
thinking
voting
about
on intermissions
videos. I
when
gotta
didn't
lock
even
in.
realize.
Fuck
Never
all
even got to
videos
play
on
another
Earth.
track. So we went back to free roam. This time with friends. Let's do some P switches. And this, it just hurts. Okay, let's go hunting for P switches together. I spent almost another half hour looking for a P switch that, well, it never existed. Maybe there's no P switches on the actual track itself.
It's like one.
What are the coins though?
They just give you stickers.
Now, I'd done a P-switch earlier, so I
This
knew
game's
there was at
coin
least
economy
one
is really
spot
fun.
where there was guaranteed a
It's a
P-switch.
magnum
So I went to that one, and it wasn't there. Bro, no, they actually...
Oh, damn.
Well, they
Oh yeah, Fire
They
Emblem to join the
actually-
$80
I think
club.
you're seeing things, right?
No,
There
bro.
are literally people out.
Nope, they're not there. Why are P-switches like this? What's wrong with having them in multiplayer? We ended up just deciding to play private games against bots for the rest of the night. And that was my first experience with this game. Pretty terrible. Hey, this game has a lot of things that's terrible about it. This video is going to be stuffed to the brim with negativity and hate. So let's start with the few
Yup,
positives,
that's
just
exactly
so we
what
can
we
start on the
want.
bright side. Can we talk about the visuals of this game? I mean, it is gorgeous.
Oh.
Like, genuinely gorgeous. The map is split up into these different regions, and each
Okay.
one feels vastly unique and culturally different. Hey, if I mention the tracks, I think this game's track design is actually really good. The new rail grinding and tricks make new shortcuts really fun to look at and play.
Okay.
Speaking of tracks, the musical tracks in this game are
Yeah, you know,
phenomenal.
solid-
I'm not going to try to
solid
say the
showing for my
composer's name,
first
but
one.
good job. I really like that when you open the game, you can just immediately start playing free roam. Also, when
Where's
you play
the
with
fucking
friends, the waiting room
P-switch?
is the open
Yeah,
world, which is
he's
a
right.
lot
They're
more
not
fun than
in
just looking at
multiplayer
them.
free
I quite
roam.
like these charge jumps. The new
It's a
skins are
shame.
awesome and a little bit showy, but I'm fine with that. Oh yeah, have you seen these open world events? Like Super
This
Koopas
dude
flying
can't
with you as you
handle
drive the
lazy
ocean?
mid-rip?
It's such a little
What's
touch, but
wrong
it's so
with you?
fun. Point is, I'm not trying to argue that this game does everything wrong. Not even close. But I do think the critiques I'm going to bring up are valid. If you watch this entire
got
video
that
and you
beach
still
one.
disagree with me, then that's fine. I'm glad
This is
you
the-
enjoyed
the
game.
beautiful
But I do
world
want you to
was the
remember
top
that this game
summit
took roughly
of
8 years to make, and it was the one and only
Okay, yeah,
launch
I
title for the
got-
Switch 2, the successor to the Switch 1.
I guess
you know
the
what the best-selling
majority
game on
of
that
these by
console
this
is?
point?
Mario Kart. So for
There's still
all
a
the
lot to
things that
do.
are good, you have to ask yourself, is
I
it
know, I think
8
it's
years
cute you
good?
can do
Is it
some
$80
free roam
good? Just keep
progress
those
even when
questions
you're
in mind
just
as you
in the
watch this
lobby.
video. Okay, let's get started. Before starting any race, you need to pick your character and your cart. So let's talk about this user interface for a second. On the surface, it's pretty clean and simple. You get to see all the characters on the left, and your selected character is dancing on the right. This UI actually works really well for a couple hours. Once you start unlocking characters, you're gonna have to scroll through all these other ones to find the one you like. It would be nice if there was a favorite option, but that's not really a big deal. What makes it go from bad to horrible is the fact that each unique skin is treated like its own character. Why? This makes no sense. Mario has
I mean, I gotta
10
agree
unique
with him. The
outfits,
character
which means I'm
select
going
does
to
kinda
repeatedly
suck.
see him on almost every character tab. And like, what's
I
the
can't.
correlation
This
here?
one's
Why is
them like, yeah,
Flora
you got
Mario
this.
to Pro
This
Racer
is the
Wario,
start.
but Pro
This is
Racer
the start
Mario
of
is
the
down here
hater.
2 away from Oasis Wario. Is this
This is the
supposed
start
to
of
make no
drinking
sense?
the
Because it
hater.
does a
You
great
got
job
me.
at doing
You got
it.
me
Luckily,
there.
there's a sort button,
You got me
but it
there.
somehow makes it even
Now
more messy.
start
I wouldn't even
reeling
blame
it
you
in.
if you didn't realize
Start
that this is
reeling
what
the
sort
bait,
looks
man.
like. This
You
bottom
got
panel
this.
is meant to show
You
you the
got
skins that
this.
you're looking at. So in this case, Peach,
Talking to
Daisy,
the
Yoshi,
YouTuber.
DK, and Bowser.
Be right back,
Ignoring the fact
PewDiePie.
that
I
this
have to
still
do my
looks very
chores.
messy, it's still awfully confusing because I don't have one Peach skin. The rest of my Peach skins are on the previous page, filled with all of these other characters. What? This problem is amplified by the fact that there are
Welcome to Mario Kart
127 unique skins.
You thought you were done with Mario Kart 8? Guess again.
Also, why can't I see my character's stats? Because the characters do have stats that do affect the race. Bigger characters give you a higher top speed, and smaller characters give you better handling. The game never tells you this though. You're just meant to assume it, I guess. Assume that the biggest, fattest character is going to give you the highest top speed, that is. You know what doesn't affect the stats? Fucking skins. It doesn't matter what skin you choose for Mario, they all have the same stats. Which is just another reason that I don't understand why they aren't grouped together. Oh yeah, and while we're talking about shitty UI, why does the Friends tab show people who have Switch once? They can't play the game. This is just dead space. Anyways, let's talk about these shitty ass abilities. Mario Kart World is the first Mario Kart to introduce Rewind. When you activate Rewind, you will go back in the same path you took while everyone
I
else
forgot
goes
about
forward.
that.
Who thought of this? It has
I don't
zero
think
cooldown.
I've used
You can
that
go for as
once.
long or as short as you want, and it dodges literally every item in the game. So now, if there's a blue shell coming towards your ass, instead of doing something cool like dodge it with a mushroom, you can just do this. What the fuck? This isn't even hard to do. You just hit rewind. That's it. How is this allowed in races? They did disable it for online races, but if you guys recognize there's a problem here, why not fix it for single player too? Besides the races, I do think rewind is a pretty good ability for the most part. It's helpful in free roam when you fall off at something, and it's really helpful in time trials when you're practicing a specific section. Also, why does the miners crash?
I guess it is good.
If you're on a busy road and you're trying to rewind, it will constantly get
I've been
interrupted.
doing like all the
Why?
free
other
roam the
big new
manual
thing
way.
added to this game was rail grinding. If you drive up onto a rail, you're basically locked in place. You can spam tricks on them for mini turbos, you maintain full speed even during turns, and when you're done, you can jump off in any direction you want. The main concern of the rails is that you get on them and you pretty much do nothing. I'm happy to say that's not really
Welcome
the
to
case.
Clown
Usually they're pretty
City.
short and sweet. You get on, do a few
This is
tricks,
where
and
all they have all
lastly, they
the
added
beautiful
card
AI
They are
posters.
exactly what they sound like. The only thing that kind of bothers me about these ones is that if you charge it for longer,
They're
you
not.
don't get a bigger jump.
They're not.
I know it's a nitpick,
I don't
but
know.
it's so
I keep thinking when
unsatisfying.
somebody
Something that's more
accuses
satisfying
Gabe,
is wall riding.
like
You can
for
drive
no
on walls in
reason,
this game.
you know,
It can be a little
having
finicky, but I like it. It's a fun
Ah,
way to spice up the
ah.
shortcuts. Overall, the new abilities are
Lightning
solid,
is
but the
crazy,
same could
oops.
not be said for the items. Mario Kart
As it
World
goes to show,
introduced a
lightning
whopping
is crazy in
16
this game
items
because
that
it
are
lasts like 1
exclusively
second now.
dodgeable. Here, I'll let this guy explain.
Coin shell. When you throw a coin shell, coins will appear. Now
True.
just don't let your rivals catch.
Okay, never mind. This guy's voice is so annoying. I'm just gonna explain it myself. The coin cell spawns coins and you can get hit by it. The ice flower is just the fire flower, but this time it's ice. Revolutionary. The hammer lets you toss a bunch of hammers. The mega mushroom makes you big, fast, and you can run people over. It also makes you immune to stuff like shock. The feather gives you a big
I got
jump.
you.
You can use it to dodge stuff
How
or
much
shortcuts.
do
The
we
question
do
block
this?
gives you coins. Wait, now that I think about it, we have a coin shell,
Wait.
a coin item.
Oh, wait,
and
I
a
won.
coin question block? Do we really need this many? And lastly, the comic. What
Wow.
does it do again? Oh,
Okay.
right. It gives everyone except you a new character. Cool. That is all the new items for Mario Kart World. Oh, wait. Actually, I missed one. The food.
That's a
this shit is
Starcast?
literally
Yeah.
just a mushroom. Y'all
No.
made so many unique foods just to turn all of them into a
Starcast
mushroom.
have a
These items
theme?
kind of suck. Besides the mega mushroom and the feather, you will forget that all of these exist. Wait, what were we talking about again? Let's just talk about the open world.
Look at all these
I
baby
love open world
loopers.
games. When I heard this game was going to be open world, my hype went through the roof.
Bunch of
Nobody knew what to
tryhards,
expect. They
unlike
could take this in
me,
literally any direction they wanted.
who is
In the
who
lead up to this
only
game's
wins
release,
in a
I spent
pure
lot
and
of time
perfect
theorizing
way.
what that could look like. Maybe you'd have to discover the racetracks yourself.
The
to
current
unlock them.
3-street
Maybe some
beat.
characters or skins would be tied
Okay.
automatically to certain tracks. Maybe you could design your own racetrack. None of these things happened. The direction Nintendo decided to take it is no
I mean, yeah,
direction at all.
Ryan, she
This
does
open
love
world is the prettiest piece of shit
the
I've
Mario
ever
Kart
seen.
World
And I do mean
soundtrack.
that. It's really pretty. The amount of things going on in this world
Oh,
really
we're
bring it to life. Look at this
We're going
kayaker
to
or this
pick
elephant.
fake
Everyone
DK
is doing
Jungle
something.
Parkway.
Everyone has a purpose, except for one person, you. The player.
Me?
There are really only 3 objectives in the open world, so let's tackle them one by one. Starting with Peach medallions. These little guys are heading all over the map.
Where do they
When you get one, you get a sticker. That's it.
Die.
So why try to find this? Or a sticker. Right, but I already have a sticker. Yeah, but now you can have another one. Okay, can I use more than one? Nope. Guys, there are 200 of these. There's a few that are somewhat hidden or hard to get to, but for the vast majority, your reaction is going to be, oh, there's a Peach medallion. If for whatever reason you decide I'm gonna find all 200 medallions, your reward is a whopping... It's nothing. Of course it's nothing. It's not even a message. You just have to sit there in silence knowing for the last 5 hours you've done fuck all looking for these shits. Hey, Future Xander here. I also just realized that Nintendo literally says in the manual, how many could there be? Why invite players to try to find them all if there's no reward? I know I'm hating on the medallions really hard, but please keep in mind, this is one of the 3 main things you're going to be doing in the open
Oh,
world.
fuck.
I haven't even talked about the other 2.
I didn't
Question
even
mark
think
panels are
about
next.
that.
These guys are always hidden around racetracks.
I guess I have to
You drive
go
over
grab
and you
that
get
next race.
fucking sticker. Do people want these? What made Nintendo go all in on the sticker thing? I'm really trying so hard not to talk about the stickers right now. Actually, you know what? Fuck it.
Might
We're
be
talking about the
useful
stickers.
for now.
There are 1,056 stickers in this game. First of all, why is it not 1,000? Because 56 is annoying as shit. Second of all,
What were
that's
they
way too
thinking?
many. Beyond the stickers from Peach medallions and question mark panels, you also get stickers for collecting coins, how far you drive, how far you glide, how many tricks you do, and how many races you do. How is that enough to fill over 1,000 stickers? Look at how many tabs of pages there are, man. By the way, if you're wondering if this is my screenshot, hell no. I wouldn't waste this on my
Man, we're
worst enemy.
fucked.
But Luigi ITSB,
We're
thank you for your
fucked.
service. Now, if you still think the stickers are cool, I
Game
have a
should have,
question
like,
for you.
100
Of all the
stickers
gameplay I've shown
max.
thus far, can you remember one instance where you saw a sticker? I rest my case.
Getting
Okay,
Peach
back on
Beyond
track.
charges my
Besides the reward,
controller.
I really like these question
Well,
mark
I
panels.
got
They're typically
one
pretty
earlier,
thoughtfully
and
placed
it
and
didn't do
sometimes even
anything.
hard to get to. And I like that little challenge. I also think that placing them around tracks was a great idea, since whenever you have an intermission playing online, you have a bit of an opportunity to drive around and find them. You can also look at the tracks on the map and see if you're missing any. That's awfully convenient. More of these, please. The last and most important thing to do in the open world are P-switches. These are little challenges scattered around the map, and they could be really almost anything. But before I start
I
talking
only
about them,
something
I
I've
have to
always
bring
thought
this
of
up.
Mario
There's
Kart is like
394
the
of
bullet
them.
bill
What, you really
sucks.
couldn't fit
I
6
know
more
why
in
it's
there,
in the
making it
game,
even
but,
400?
like, I've
I remember when
never
people were talking about
enjoyed
this, like,
using
no, there
it.
definitely is 6 more. We just still have to find it. And then slowly people started
Change
realizing that, yeah, no,
balls.
that is just how it is. Anywho, I'm gonna
I
categorize
wanted
the
to
P-switches
turn
into a few
invisible
different
like Diddy
categories.
Kong.
First up, blue coin
Who's
P-switches.
not in this
You
game.
drive around and collect these blue coins, and then, yeah, you're done. This is probably my least favorite P-switch to encounter. It's hard to say that all of these are equally bad because some of them are more fun than others, but in general, the blue coin ones suck, okay? They're just bad. Next is goal P-switches. These ones basically just have you getting from point A to point B. It's simple, but it works. Usually it's not that easy to get to point B. Now, there is another variation of goal P-switches, which I'm just going to call ring P-switches. It's the same thing, but now you have to go through these rings so that you have enough time to make it to them. I find it strange that the
Yeah,
rings
right.
aren't required to do these P-switches. So
Classic of
almost
Mario
all of
Kart
these, you
beat,
can skip several
which
rings and
is-
have no problem.
It's funny, I end up doing
Getting all
2
the rings
Mario
is
Kart
almost always
streams in a
slower than
row.
just getting a few of them and going straight to the
because
goal.
it's
The
just
last
how
kind
it
of P-switch is
panned out.
actually a special test of skills. These are basically just
Hammer
ring
Brother jump
P-switches, but
scare.
they're harder. In fact, it's so difficult that you might not even do it on your first try.
I
Some
keep
of these
hearing
are
the
actually
hammer
a little
from
tricky, which I
Mario
do
Kart
appreciate. And I'd be
works
lying
in
if I
this
said some of
game.
these weren't at least a little bit
Whenever I
easy.
have, I'm
But
just like,
ultimately, they are just
okay.
little mindless little tasks. Are they fun? Sure, but I'm not really motivated to seek these out, especially because once again the reward is a sticker, and I
That was
genuinely
okay.
do not care about this reward at all. I'm sure if you
Gmod
argue
Mario
that the
is
reward
mad
is
at
the
me,
journey
sorry.
itself. That's the problem. The journey's not that fun.
Uh,
Once you've done 10
let me
P-switches,
charge
you've
the
kind of done them
controller
all.
real quick.
Oh wait, I forgot to tell you the reward you get for doing all the P-switches. Ready? Drum roll, please. Nothing. What a joke. This is my main problem with free roam. There's no incentives to play it, so why play it? Even if you're a collector and you decide to do everything free roam has to offer, the game doesn't even so much as acknowledge it, let alone reward it. And if you're not looking at the internet, you're probably gonna drive yourself crazy looking for 6 P-switches that just don't exist. They literally could have just made one sticker of a golden P-switch or something that signifies, hey, you've done all the P-switches, good job. Instead, you just feel like you've wasted your time. Probably because you have. Speaking of wasting your time, what the fuck is this? For some reason, Nintendo's best idea of how to collect skins is to drive around into these snack bags. These Yoshi diner spots are scattered throughout the map and give you all the unique skins for each character. Was this the best you could come up with? It's not fun to do, they're not marked on the map, they're not particularly hard to get to. Call me crazy, but I don't want to repeatedly drive into a snack bag until I unlock every skin. But even if I did, it's so unintuitive. For
Okay,
example,
I don't
let's say I'm
think I
looking for my
can
last
charge
Lackey skin.
this.
So
What
let's
did I
go eat
miss?
something.
I don't think I can charge this by putting my
And I
front
didn't get a new
slot
skin.
on my
Why? Because
computer.
ate
I
the
guess
wrong
I'm just
food.
gonna have
In
to
this
switch
game,
to
you have to eat a
Joy-Con too.
specific food that corresponds to the skin. There are 19
next
unique
race.
food items in this game. So
wanna-
what
wouldn't wanna
food
skip
do I have
it.
to eat to get the other Lackey
Wouldn't
skin?
wanna
I don't
miss the
know.
video.
I'm not even sure what the skin looks like. But even if I did know the skin, it would be hard
Dude,
to
he
correlate
doesn't
that to
even
food.
know
And
what
if
you
I
need
did
to
know the
get the
food, it would
second
be hard to
Lackey
correlate
skin.
that to the location. The point is, it's confusing. If you care about getting all the skins, do yourself a favor and search it up, or just collect them naturally through races. I think if you do it that way, it's actually a lot more fun. When you do it in free roam, I actually think it's kind of annoying, since you know that for the next few minutes you're just going to be eating snacks, switching characters, and seeing if you get new skins. It's not fun, but it is the fastest way to get all the
Slide.
skins. Beyond
We
the skins,
love a
there
good
is one other
slider.
sense of progression in the open world. Mirror mode. If you aren't aware, mirror mode flips every track horizontal. That basically just means that every turn on the right is now a turn on the left. It's a good way to
Basically
make tracks that
perfect
feel familiar
music
and not
to go
feel
fast
unfamiliar.
to.
I have no issues with this mode's existence whatsoever. It's already been in previous Mario Kart games, and I think it's a fun way to spice it up. The problem I have is how you unlock it. Unlike Mario Kart 8, you don't just immediately unlock it when you have the game. Instead, you have to do this weird-ass laundry list of tasks that make no goddamn sense. Ready? 10 Peach medallions, 10
I was
Peach
talking about how
switches, 10
yeah,
question mark
mirror mode is so
Complete all the green
cryptic to
keys in
unlock in
150cc.
this game.
Complete all the knockout pro rallies in 150cc. And then race in a special cup.
I did gold on
That's how you unlock
everything,
mirror
and I'm
mode.
like,
And look, I get it. I know
whoa,
this is
why
supposed
isn't
to be
it
a
done
cool little
yet? It's
Easter
like,
egg,
oh,
but
we
that
didn't do
doesn't
enough
make it
free
above
roam.
criticism.
Like, okay,
These
and then
tasks
you have to
no
beat the
relation
special
to mirror
cup
mode
again
whatsoever.
and
They
see
are entirely
credits.
random, arbitrary decisions pulled out of someone's ass. People didn't find mirror mode by hunting for this Easter egg. They found it by accident. I do gotta say though, I love the cutscene. They didn't have to do this, but they did. Also, the fact you can drive into this to get a mirrored version of free roam is pretty cool. Free roam still sucks though. And while it's in my mind, why is this map literally Breath of the Wild? Skitty Bitty did a great job pointing this out.
At the center is, of course, the castle. The northeast. the
I thought
volcano.
that too.
The
It is a
northwest,
little bot
the
woof.
north is the forest,
Nintendo
southeast
only
the
knows how to make a
rainforest, and
map that
southwest
has
the
like a
desert.
big
But
mountain
then
in
it's
one
not just any
corner
desert,
and
it's got
another
both
mountain
reddish
in the
and
other.
sandy cliffs, exactly like
Although
the Imperial
arguably they've been
Highlands.
doing that
There's nothing
since
wrong
like
with this map, it's just
A
uninspired.
Link to the
Please stop
Past.
copying the Breath of the Wild map, please. Okay, there's a few more things we need to talk about for free roam. First of all, there are these vehicles you can drive on, you can
Nintendo
fly
has
on.
been doing
Sometimes you use
open
them with
worlds like
P-switches,
this
but
for
there's
some
usually not
time
much to do in them anyway, so it's one of those things that it feels really cool the first time, but that
Oh, I'm
feeling
really
kind of
behind,
fades
and we are
fast.
coming
Another
up
cool
to
thing
the
is you can
course.
find nabbits running around. Once you get close, they're going to start running away from you, and you have to catch them. I actually find these really fun. He can be a little tricky to catch, and once you do catch them, you get coins and, of course, a sticker. Yay! Also, I need to gas up the NPCs for free roam. There is such a vast array of NPCs and enemies from all the previous Mario games, it's actually incredible. I'm not even trying to be sarcastic, but genuinely this is awesome. You got toads getting on tour buses and actually getting inside, dragons just chilling in the ocean, all these unique enemies spicing up the roads. It actually makes the world feel alive. It's kind of sad
It is a good
because the
course.
foundation here is super solid. It's like they spent all their time trying to make free roam beautiful and lively without spending any time on giving the player something to do.
I think,
If you're hoping
honestly, I
multiplayer
think there's
fixes
only
this
really
issue, I'm
one
sorry to say,
course in this
it
game
actually
I
makes it
don't
worse.
like.
For some wild
And
reason,
it's-
you can't do any
it's
P-switches in
Stardew Peak,
multiplayer. That's the
which
main
everyone
thing
kinda
you do
agrees
in
is a
free roam.
little
What
ass.
are we supposed to do together?
Oh,
together. Make this world better.
yay!
That's the answer? Go for a ride with each other? I can already do that in races. Why would I do that here? Do you guys genuinely think we're gonna get 8 friends together just to go drive around and take some pictures? Like, that's why I spent $80 on this? Why would you remove the
Nobody
one
has
thing
ever
that's
driven
actually
around with
fun?
friends.
Now, I know people are gonna tell me that P-switches would have been
And
hard to
taken
implement in
photos.
multiplayer, and I'm sure that that's true. I'm not a game developer. But for 8 years, I think you guys had enough time to figure it out. I understand that free roam in multiplayer is not really meant to be free roam. It's meant to be a lobby. And trust me, they make sure you never forget that by having this unmovable big-ass HUD in the middle of your screen with big white bold text saying start game. I get it, you want me to race. So you know what? We'll race. Knockout Tour is the brand new mode that they introduced in Mario Kart World. I'll let this guy try to
Taking a
explain it
picture.
again.
Race non-stop.
Look, everybody,
Never
the
mind.
people
It's
are
a race
taking
that spans
pictures
across the
with
entire
their
map, which means
families,
it's
their
long,
beautiful
like
families.
really long. About 8 minutes if you're playing 150cc.
I'm gonna
Throughout the race, there are
photobomb
6
you.
checkpoints. Each checkpoint will only allow a specific amount of players through. So for example, the first checkpoint only allows the first 20 racers through. The 4 racers that didn't make it get knocked out, hence Knockout Tour. This essentially continues down the line until you end up on the final racetrack with 4 players remaining. Those 4 players will race 1 lap around a track, and whoever wins becomes the winner of the Knockout Tour. It's a battle royale, but that's not bad. In fact, I actually think it works very well in this format. Just kidding. This mode has one major flaw that tears it apart.
I think it's good.
Shortcuts. Shortcuts
Just
in this
kidding.
game are so
It's bad.
stupidly overpowered. I'm not even sure how I could possibly begin to
I
express
really
how bad
like-
this problem
I think
is,
it's
so I'm
good.
just gonna show you a visual.
I think
this
it's
is one
good.
of the
I think
biggest
it's
shortcuts
good.
in Mario
Just
Kart
kidding.
codes.
I think it's bad. Great format.
Pretty damn good, but if you compare it to this random shortcut I found in Mario Kart World, it doesn't even compare. Like, what am I
do like
looking
cutting
at?
through
Now,
the
on the
mud like
surface, you
that.
might not understand just how bad this is for racing. So, let me break it down. We all know that when you play Mario Kart, you get items based on the position you're in. If you're in first, you're gonna get dog shit, and if you're in last, you're gonna get bullet bills and golden shrooms. Now, obviously, this system isn't fair, but it was never meant to be fair. It was meant to be fun. The players with less skill would never be that far behind players with more skill, so nobody got destroyed. But as people do, they find ways to exploit things. Ever heard of sandbagging? It's intentionally performing poorly in the race so that you get very good items, then using those items at the optimal time to get back in the lead. A lot of people didn't like this
I kinda
strategy
wanted
because
that
it wasn't
race-
that
the
fun.
Crown
It made
City
the
race
races
do
more
that.
about getting lucky items
I got
rather than
lucky
actually
with
trying
the
to race your
mushrooms.
best. Unfortunately, it was very good in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
What? What placement did I get this in? Are you serious? I'm just talking. This is so ironic. I can't not believe this. This is cheating.
Welcome to
How did I
Mario
get a
Kart
bullet
7.
So naturally, people hoped that it would get nerfed in Mario Kart World. So what does Nintendo do? They buff it. And I'm not just talking about the shortcuts. The problem goes way further than that. These knockout tour tracks are basically long, wide, straight roads. The fastest way to drive these tracks is almost always just hold A and do very slight turns. Don't drift, don't rail grind, and don't take these stupid-ass shortcuts. They're slow. Ignoring the fact that these tracks are boring, first place has no reasonable way to create distance from last place. Think about it. There's 23 people behind you, and everyone is throwing items around. You have no way to create distance from them. You can't get any good items from question blocks, and there's no benefit to getting first to the checkpoint rather than last. On the contrary, when you're in last, everyone in front of you is constantly getting hit. You're able to collect all of their coins, speeding up your engine, making it easier to catch up to everyone. Every time you get a question block, you get very good items. And there are these massive shortcuts you can take. This makes it so that last place is actually
Oh, that
competitive
one's
in most
short.
cases. Doesn't sound
Yeah,
much
you know,
like
some
a
of
race,
these
does it? Now,
intermission
admittedly, I do think the
or
checkpoints
whatever
help
you
with
call
this a
them
lot.
are
If you're
better
always
than
in last,
others.
You will get knocked out. So you can't just hang out and last the entire race. But you don't want to be in first either, since that is probably the most vulnerable position. you
Oh,
can
this is
be in.
Peach
The
Stadium
only time
1.
You need to be first is when you
The
cross that finish
boring
line after
one.
8 minutes of racing. And to be honest, it really feels like that last lap can come down to RNG most of the time. Sometimes I'm in fourth and I think that's awful, but then I get a gold trim and remember, oh, I just earned it. But I don't feel like I should have done that. I feel like I just got lucky. It makes knockout tour feel
Should I
very
use
lucky.
this?
But
Might
don't get me wrong,
be
being
evil.
skilled is going to make knockout tour much easier. I'm not trying to say that knockout tour is
No,
just
they're
as
gonna-
fast
whoever's there is
being
gonna
good
just
is going
cross
to
the
make
line
it easier to
anyway.
win. But I also
That
think
wasn't
the
very
skill
good.
ceiling for knockout tour is very low. In fact, I won a 100cc knockout tour without even playing. Wait. Aim, no. Wait,
That is kind of funny.
What? Wait. What the hell just happened? The fact that this is even possible is absurd, and it goes to show just how much item luck is a factor. For newer players, this might be great. Despite your lack of skill, you can go out and win races because you got lucky. This is fun at first, but as you get more skill, I think you're gonna get bored. Especially because there's
potion.
only 8 tracks. That is dumb. This map is massive, and there's a literally infinite amount of tracks you could make out of this. Limiting it to only 8 tracks makes it extraordinarily repetitive.
The same knockout tour. We better not be playing this one 3 times in a row.
I think that these issues have led to Knockout Tour being played less often.
Why are there no lobbies for knockout tour? I don't get it. Am I playing with mostly bots? So how many people are actually playing right now?
Well, everyone's gonna pick Rainbow
okay,
Road
I'm
as
actually
Rainbow
playing against
Road.
bots right now.
We're gonna have a beautiful Rainbow Road on
what?
stream,
There's no
right?
way. Nintendo
not
couldn't
everybody.
find 24 players for me, or even just like 12 or something.
This should not happen to games that sell millions of copies. That's a red flag. And if you're gonna argue
Koopa
that this
Beach
is on
versus
purpose, then
Rainbow
why?
Road
if
is
I
like-
wanted to play against bots, I would play single player. I paid for online, so I don't
Well, I
have
mean,
to play
Rainbow
against
Road was a bit
bots.
long,
Hey, wanna
especially
talk about
because this
something
is
that
like the
almost
path
nobody
to
cares about
Rainbow
for a few
Road
minutes?
too. This is like the
To be honest, I never really
track in
cared
the
for this
game
mode
that's
outside of
not
Shine Thief,
Knockout
and
Tour.
that doesn't exist in this game. Maybe one day. For now, we have Coin Runners and Balloon Battle. Tough choice, right? Well, lucky for you, it doesn't matter, because you're not gonna have fun in either. Whichever version you choose, you end up in a
What?
recycled, closed-off version of a racetrack. And no, it doesn't work. Obviously, it doesn't work. It never did work. Battle mode was at its best when we had custom arenas. What about this didn't work? Or did you guys genuinely think
I do
Mario
like
Bros.
that
Circuit was the
concept.
perfect place for battle mode? Like someone really looked at this
Yeah,
and
I've tried the battle mode of this. I think
Mario
it's
Kart 8
like
Deluxe had 5
it's
game
still
modes, and
much
now we're
better
down to
than,
2?
um,
Fucking 2?
with
Really?
8
Is
Wii
that what
U
my
did.
$80
Don't
gets
tell
me?
Mario
I'm
Kart
sorry
8
for not
Wii
talking
U
about the game modes, but
dot
genuinely,
com
it was
said
so
that
generic and they've
it
been
wasn't a
redundant.
real
This is just a
person,
rehash of
but
what we've already seen,
that's
but
okay.
worse. I hate the 24 players, I do. It makes battle mode so much less personal. There's no sense of rival. Compare that to how it was back in the day with only 4 players. You knew exactly who your competition was. This
I think
feels
you
like
knew
bullshit.
because you were playing
The
it
only
locally,
positive I
man.
can talk about here is if they added
I
battle
think
elimination
there's a
in the
difference,
as
you
it
know,
should be.
playing
If all your
online.
balloons get popped, you should be out, and that is kind of how it works. But of course, Nintendo has to do some weird shit where they make it based off of points. So you can be eliminated and still technically win. Great job, Nintendo. People loved that from Mario Kart 8. Oh yeah, and this elimination thing that's good, this was an update. This was not even how the game launched. This is
Now
not
that is-
delivered.
now we are
Believe
going
it or
to
not, people actually
this is
care
Rainbow
about
Road.
it.
People
I feel
hype
bad
this
for them
shit
because
up.
time
I
after
think
time
it's
they're completely forgotten about. This mode is a complete shell.
honestly,
of what it used
maybe
to be.
like
It's sad,
unpopular
honestly. If
opinion.
search
I don't
Mario
think this
Kart World
tracking
Battle Mode,
cracks
the
top
most
5
viewed
for
video
me.
has 30,000
I wouldn't call it
views.
bad.
For a game of this
It's still
scale,
fun.
that's bullshit. And I'm honestly scared to talk about this any longer because people are already probably dropping out. One more minute of this and my retention is going to drop off with a click. Luckily, this next topic might
Yeah, sorry,
save
man.
us.
I got focused on Rainbow
I
Road.
don't think it's a hot take to say that the racetracks are the most important part of the Mario Kart game. If the tracks are bad, the game is bad. I will die on this hill. So if you're expecting me to say the tracks are bad, it's a little more complicated than that. There's 30 tracks in this game. 32
God
if you're
damn it.
counting unique layout.
That actually got me.
If you walk
Most
through a
Kamek
park
stuff
and you
doesn't
take a
even get
different
me.
route
That
than
that
normal,
got
you
me
still walk
because
through the
it's going
same
up the
Out
hill.
of the 30 tracks, 14 of them are retro,
Hate-
which means
hate
they've been in
Bush.
previous Mario Kart games. This might seem
My
lazy,
favorite
but it's kind of
song
the way
from
it's always been.
Strangest
Mario
Things.
Kart has always recycled and recreated tracks. Sometimes that's a complete overhaul, and sometimes that's hardly changing it at all. I'll quickly go through each track one by one and give my opinion on if it's good or not. We'll start with Great Question Block Rules, because it'll give me a good opportunity to explain what I think makes a track amazing. First of all, visuals. This track is so damn beautiful. Surrounded
Question
by
Block
bright blue
Rules
skies and
is
fluffy
like-
clouds
that
with
might
this
be a
big,
top
ominous
5.
question block. I mean, I hate to use this word, but it has aura. Secondly, a good track has multiple routes you can take. You can go this way, you can go that way, or you can even go that way. I won't judge. Thirdly, a good track has a balanced mixture of straightaways and fun turns. And I'm talking about these
Welcome
turns,
to
the crispy lanes.
the beautiful world of water.
Now we can actually start talking about the tracks. Ready? Mario Bros. Circuit is boring. It's slow, it's uninteresting, and there's
What?
not much to do. Half the track is literally one turn. Also, real quick, just listen to this.
The first track is not interesting in a Mario Kart game. That's fucked. We should start killing people. Oh, is there a shortcut?
The number of racers to 24 is a very significant variable in increasing that
Yo,
chaos.
it's another guest.
Yes, yes.
Wait, that's just a Nintendo Treehouse guy.
Is it? If it is really just as simple as more chaos equals more fun, then please put 50 players in the next game. Actually, why even have a limit? Let's just put everyone in the same race. That sounds chaotic, right? Crown City. This map is also very basic and very forgettable. The concept of jumping building to building sounds really cool on
Spike.
paper, but these roads are way too wide, so it ends up
He's
being
got-
too easy.
he's just a
This is
green,
peak.
like,
I love this.
oval
DK
from the
Spaceport.
back.
There's not many shortcuts, and all the alternate paths like riding on this wall are actually slower than just driving straight. Why? Why
We go
punish
up to
players that take the
space.
harder route? Desert Hills. This map sucks. Straight up. They got rid of the hill that made Desert Hills Desert Hill. Alright, let's
Actually,
take
you know
a
what's the hot
breather.
take?
don't
I like
really
Desert
wanna talk
Hills.
about every single
It's not
track in depth,
amazing.
so I'm just gonna use
I
one
think
word to
it's-
describe
I
it.
think it's
Fun.
decent.
Decent.
Everybody's
Cute.
saying they hate
Stupid.
Desert
Go to
Hills in
generic.
this game.
Okay.
I think it's okay.
Cinema. Solid-der. Subscribe? Yes. No. Maybe? Sometimes. Smash. Pass. No.
I was wondering when he was gonna
Hopefully that
explain
makes
about
sense.
Desert
I think a
Hills.
lot of these tracks tracks are actually really good. In fact, the vast majority are good. Sure, there are some shitters, but I don't even think they compare to intermissions. And trust me, we'll talk about the intermissions. But if I love the track so much, why do I hate this game? Well, if you played this game, you probably know exactly why. You don't get to play on these tracks very often.
Oh yeah, I
For
know.
some reason, Nintendo has forced intermission tracks into almost every game. Don't believe me? Let's talk about... Alright, this is Mario Kart's bread and butter, Grand Prix mode. The way it works in this game is you race between 4 tracks in the open world. And when I say between, I mean that literally, because every
Every
race
time
is an intermission.
I get
okay, except the first one.
to
The
the
first
end
race
of
is
this,
not
I
an
think of
intermission.
that post
So
on
you do
Blue
get to do
Sky
one normal free lap
setting
track
this
in Grand
song
Prix,
to
but
like the
unfortunately,
Shrek
that first
1
track is
ending,
almost
and it makes me
exclusively
laugh.
bullshit. The Mushroom Cup starts with Mario Bros. Circuit.
Like it, yeah.
Flower Cup starts with Desert Hills. The Shell Cup starts with Koopa Troopa Beach, which, by the way, is just a circle, for 6 laps. Fun. Anyway, there's a total of 8 Grand Prix in this game. Each one has 4 tracks. Oh, 4 intermissions. 3 intermissions. One
Somebody
track, 3
is
intermissions.
said
But like,
wants to
seriously,
kill
when you
Peter.
look at this, how are you meant to know that? It's so misleading to say Crown City when only about 20% of the race
Yeah, I
is
really
used.
need my
You might say,
Joy-Cons
why
out.
does this matter? Who the hell cares? It's Mario Kart, dude. Listen, I've spent way too much time analyzing this game, and I've also spent way too much fucking money on this game. I'm well aware that this is a minor nitpick that a lot of people probably don't give a shit about, but I do, so please, let me have this. This road path is what shows you where your Grand Prix is going to take you. There doesn't seem to be any consistent pattern to this either. Sometimes it's a straight line, sometimes it's a C, sometimes it's a
Wait,
Z.
are boomerangs,
You
like, on a
really feel
timer
that
in
each
this
track needs to be relatively close to the next track. This prevents you from having to do a cross-country drive. Or nothing. Anyway, once you pick which
shouldn't
intermissions
have
you take
hesitated
the
there.
least, you can start racing. Oh wait, but first
Well,
you have to choose
middle
your
of the
engine
pack is
type.
okay.
50cc, 100cc, 150cc, or 2...
Okay, let me
Oh,
give the-
right, they
the-
got
the
rid of
Joy-Con.
200cc. God damn it. Because driving in a straight line is so fun, they really don't want to rush it. By the way, this footage is not sped up. I have heard a few theories that explain why 200cc is gone, but I don't find them compelling or satisfying at all. Some people have said that it's coming in an update. When? And why? Why not just launch the game with all the features? If it's to reignite some hype a few years down the line, then sure, I could see that, but I do think it's scummy. However, there's another theory that's even more scummy, locking it behind DLC. This just seems likely. In fact, I'm going to make the call right now that that is exactly what's going to happen. If you're watching this in the future, and I'm right, then please subscribe, because I'm trying to get to 50k. Anyway, once you beat all the Grand Prix, you unlock Rainbow Road. It's really pretty. That's all I have to say about it. Every time you beat a Grand Prix, you unlock a new character.
There we go.
So,
There
there's
we-
that. Look, I won't beat around the bush. Grand Prix
okay,
are poop,
I'm good.
donkey shit, baloney, whatever you want to call
What?
it. I'm all in for experimenting with new ideas. When I was a kid, I ate an entire bar of soap. Can you blame me? It looked fun. In similar
Am I
fashion,
gonna
I wouldn't
do
blame you for
lounge?
thinking this looks fun. But in both instances, once you take a bite, you realize, damn, this kind of tastes like shit. That shit you're tasting
what
is
is
all
lounge?
the intermissions. I've been alluding to them this
I'm
entire video,
I'm
but I think it's
becoming
time
I'm
we
trying to become
finally talk
jaded
about them.
right
First
now.
of all,
Sorry.
let's set some ground rules. I'm going to be as open-minded as possible when talking about this. I don't want this video to just be a hate video. Intermissions are a big part
Oh,
of
you
this
mean like
game.
a
Actually,
private
the
room?
biggest part of this game. There are 202 intermission tracks. To be
Oh.
honest, I'm
I
not
don't know
even
what that
sure if
is.
I've played them.
Sorry.
It is a metric shit
Uh,
ton. In preparation for making this video,
I
I tried to do
understand
as many as I
you-
could. I wanted to give these a fair chance, but
It's
I have to
perfect for
say, looking
Jaded
back,
maxing.
they all kind of blend
Oh.
together. Remember when I talked about what makes a track good to me? I mentioned themes, a
No.
balanced mixture
I
of
don't know.
straights and turns, fun shortcuts, multiple routes you can take. You get the idea. All of these things are missing from intermissions. But don't take my word for it. Let's analyze an entire intermission track from start to finish. And try not to fall
beautiful
asleep. This is
question
the
box.
intermission from Crown City to Peach Stadium. Every
Man, this
intermission
might be-
starts
might
with
be a
your car
top
already driving. I think that's a nice touch because it makes it clear that you're playing an intermission,
Similar
allowing you to
materials to
prepare for what's
my
about to happen, or lack thereof. The race starts with a
This-
very long
this-
straightaway in Crown City. The road is incredibly wide, and
That
there's almost
fucking
no
turn.
obstacles whatsoever. Once you encounter your first turn, you'll find one of these. It's a rail that basically helps you make the turn. These are everywhere in intermissions. No, seriously.
But now,
There's a
I'm
curve
just
90 degrees
interested
or
in
more.
the
You're gonna
regular
see one of
ones.
these. And why? They are so much slower than just taking a turn normally.
Oh,
Yeah,
How did I forget that?
Yeah, the more you play these courses, the more you start to realize these rails are all over the place. And there's different routes and different paths that you can take.
I understand they might be there
That guy
for
sounds
beginners,
like
but
the-
I actually think this works against
Or
beginners, since
TBS.
they're the ones that don't realize how slow it
Or
actually is.
TBS hearing
Anyways,
and
once you do
others.
your 2 turns, now you're on a very long straightaway. Again, at least this time there's obstacles though, and boost panics. I should also point out that once you reach one of these little baby turns, the fastest way to take it is not by drifting. That might sound counterintuitive since drifting gives you a turbo, but when you're drifting, you're going significantly
Oh
slower.
my god,
The best way
really?
to go about these turns is to do micro adjustments on the joystick. Once you exit the tunnel, there's a massive patch of grass. This is what I was talking about earlier with knockout turret. It's an incredibly massive shortcut. All you need is a few mushrooms and you're practically guaranteed to shoot yourself to top 3. Also, it's incredibly easy. There is no risk outside of maybe these green pipes. Once you get past that section, you end up on another long straightaway with a bunch of boost panics. Sometimes you'll see cars with ramps you can trick off of, but it's usually not
Oh,
like
to
that.
Peach Stadium.
Just keep going straight for now. Once you enter Peach's Stadium, you're on the final lap, which is a circle. This is
Okay.
actually one of the few
Okay,
times
yeah,
it's
that
worth
is
it.
one of the
rest
ones I
track
just
is
did that I
direct
just said,
straightaways,
yeah,
there's no
that
rails,
one's
there's
not
no
really that
shortcuts.
good.
You just drive around this little loop and then you're done. That's the race.
Sweet.
There
Okay,
are
that's a
over
lot.
200 races like this. If you think I just cherry-picked the worst track, then believe me, there's far worse.
I feel like you
Peach's
did.
Stadium to Koopa Troopa Beach is literally a straight line. It's so boring that I made a shitpost comparing it to working at McDonald's. Or Drive-On's Burnout to Toad's Factory. This one's even worse because there's nothing to trick off of and there's no boost benefits. Okay, but maybe I'm just playing these tracks wrong and the real way to play
I
it
think
is
the straight
way more
line to
hard.
Koopa
Nope,
Beach is
what
actually
you've been
kind of
watching
fun.
the
They got
past
the
couple
whales
minutes is
there.
world record gameplay. Okay, it's not actually world record gameplay, but this is world record gameplay. Does it look like it's world record? Let's compare this to the world record for
Okay, I
Whistle
guess I'll
Pop
just
Summit.
build.
They start the race by getting their charge
Bullet
boost, but
Julio.
also braking so that they could just barely make it onto this left rail. Trick onto the pipe, trick
And
off
I
the
never
pipe,
played
trick on
Bullet
the wall, trick
Bills.
onto a wall ride, trick back
feel
onto
like
the
the
rail,
ninth
trick onto
was
the rail again,
deserved.
use a mushroom through this patch of grass, do this crazy jump skip, then get back on the rail, get back on the pipe, get back on
Yo,
another
Baby
rail,
Daisy
then you
on the
get
video.
idea. Intermissions have shitty track designs, and we haven't even talked about the gameplay. With intermission tracks, you can stay in the back for the entire race, and there is practically zero risk in doing this. Even if you roll a bad question block, you can just try again. You have so much time to catch up to the pack, and once you finally do, you're the one with 20 coins. You're the one with 2 overpowered items. It's ludicrous how much of a disadvantage the front runners are in. They're the ones that constantly have to deal with being attacked, losing coins, getting shitty items, getting blue shelled. Meanwhile, you've done fuck all the entire race, and the only time you decide to poke your head out is right before the finish line so you can grab first. And there is nothing they can do to stop you. That
As I'm going
is
to
game.
fall now.
Oh wait, but how could I forget about Nintendo's anti-sandbagging technology?
It's been
You
a
know,
good
the one that
while
does
trying to
nothing
get that
unless you're
beach
literally
going
not
over there.
moving. I only figured this out because
Which
I
I
went to get
got,
a snack at the start of
because
the
I'm
race.
awesome.
When I came back, I was in last, but when I picked up an item, it was horrible. Unfortunately, a grand total of 0% of people sandbag like
I
this.
like that.
This solves absolutely nothing. Keep in mind, there's 202 intermissions. I hope you're good at memorizing, but even if you do try to memorize these tracks, it can get kind of confusing. That's because every intermission can flow both ways. You can go from Bowser's Castle to Airship Fortress, or you can go from Airship Fortress to Bowser's Castle. So if you really want to get good at intermissions, you should probably also learn how to play the tracks backwards. And no, I'm not joking. I understand that there are many people who enjoy the intermissions. There are 2 things I want to say to you directly. 1, I wish I could be you. And 2, I don't want to remove the intermissions. If you like them, then you should be
I
able to
do.
play them. That is your preference, and you shouldn't give a shit about whatever I have to say or anybody else. This does go both ways, though.
I don't know, maybe this guy's
enjoy the
kinda
traditional
based for
tracks,
being
and I would
playing as
prefer
Baby
to
Daisy
play only
sometimes.
traditional tracks
And now
when
he's
I run
stinking.
the Grand Prix, not just 25%.
Assuming it's his
That leaves people like me with one of 2 options: versus race or time
Dude,
trial.
I feel like
Both of these modes will give
the
you
baby
choice to
meta
choose
has just
between
changed
intermissions and
so
traditional
much.
tracks.
Like,
I don't really have any problems with either
like
of these
Wii U
modes, so I highly
never
recommend
saw,
that
like
if you're
almost
playing single
never
player,
saw
just
another
play
baby.
versus. You can
Look,
just
there's
set
a
the
baby
race
in front of
control
me.
and it basically becomes a grand
And
prix.
like,
You can even
I
get the
see
gold
babies
trophy at the
all
end.
the
Pretty
time,
nice. Well, let's
including
be realistic. Most of y'all don't want to play against bots, myself included. So where do I go? Where do we go? Nintendo Switch Online costs $20. Every
yeah,
month. It's
with
not the worst. but when you
babies,
spend
yeah.
$450
Just so
on
there's a lot of baby
80
daisies
for
on.
online.
Also, I think I've seen a lot of time trial records. I guess she's kind of
Three
meta.
modes to choose from: race,
I guess
knockout
it's good
killer, and
or
battle.
bad.
These modes are exactly
People
the same
think
as
I'm
their single player
tryhards now.
counterparts with
I don't
one
know.
major difference: how tracks are selected. Obviously, since you're playing with multiple people, everyone's
thank you for
choice is
feeding me
valuable, so they
coins.
leave it up to a vote. Unless you're playing knockout killer, then it's just completely
Feeding
random. I
my
assume
my
that's because there's
baby
only
a
8
tight
knockout
toddler
tracks. Maybe
coins.
you guys should have made more.
Here
Anyway,
comes
this
the
voting system is a
airplane.
fucking disaster. And I don't say that lightly. You can't just vote on your favorite track. You're always given 3 choices. Intermission, 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 or random. It is possible to get a traditional track in one of these 3 slots, but it's very unlikely. As far as I've seen, the chances of it happening is about 30%. Do take that with a grain of salt since it's not
What they did to
confirmed,
this
but
track is
fairly
crazy.
speaking,
It
that
basically
sounds
looks
about
like a
right.
totally
30%. That means the overwhelming majority of the time you're choosing between 3 intermissions.
I do kind of miss the chasm.
You can see there's an arrow to each of them, which means they're all intermission tracks. We have 3 intermission tracks again. 3 intermissions, 3 intermission tracks, 3 intermission tracks, 3 intermission tracks again.
Oh.
This is a bad system. Whether or not you prefer traditional tracks or
I just remember Lightning only hits players ahead.
That's the whole point of voting. This made people hate playing online since it was almost exclusively intermissions. Everyone's fear of this game just being straight lines was actually coming true. For about a day. The community quickly realized that choosing random doesn't just choose one of the random 232 tracks. It guarantees one of the traditional 3-lap tracks. This was our saving grace, and
That's
word
true.
was spreading fast. By day 2, the majority
Well,
of
actually,
people
I
were
don't think
choosing
it
random.
always
Once
does
I heard
that
about this, it
now.
reignited my excitement to play this game.
I don't know.
And I was
There's a problem though.
genuinely
This
loving
was
it.
made
When
like
I wasn't sleeping.
1.0.
For as
I think.
janky as all of these online systems are, playing Worldwides was so fun, and that's entirely thanks to the community. Y'all understood the assignment most of the time, but even if I had to play an intermission, it didn't bother me that much because it was only like 20% of the time. Annoying, sure, but I'm sure that the people that want to play intermissions are even more annoyed since now they hardly get that opportunity. This voting system was still clearly broken for both sides, but it was manageable. We dealt with it. Who knows? Maybe Nintendo will fix it in a few weeks. Boy, was I wrong.
Should it be evil and pick Koopa or should? Oh no, this
Nintendo
wasn't
saw this
1.0.
divide and came up with the most
Oh, this is when
unintelligent,
people
ignorant,
kept
dense,
saying that
brainless,
it was
dull,
dead.
slow-witted, stupid fucking idea
People kept
I've
saying
ever seen.
Nintendo
Forgive
killed
me,
the
because
game
this
or
section is
whatever.
going to get spicy. On June 25th, 2025, Nintendo released the worst update
Okay, yeah, that was only a
possibly
few
ever.
weeks in.
This day may well be remembered as the day Mario Kart World died. I know that sounds pretty damn
Sure.
dramatic, but hear me out. This update basically served one purpose. It made the random button choose intermissions as well as the traditional 3-lap tracks. So now, if you want to vote for a traditional track, you can't. The chance of a 3-lap track
Yeah,
being picked when
okay.
you
The
choose
random
has
does
gone from
pick
100%
intermissions,
down
but
to
like
25%.
I don't know. I think
You know what
I
the other
think 3-laps
75%
are more
is?
common now.
Intermissions. But not just any
I know.
intermissions.
I mean,
the
we're about to do
intermissions that you
one
can
right now.
already vote for. Huh? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. The entire point of random is to not choose one of these 3. Even if I liked intermissions, I
Billy
would
4.
just choose
See,
my
another
favorite
Baby
intermission
Daisy,
track.
like,
Why
they're
would I leave it up
everywhere.
to chance? And this is so much worse than it seems on the surface. Let's imagine a situation where I see my favorite map, Great Question Block Ruins. Unfortunately,
is
it's an intermission. Of
is
course it
on the
is. But
rock
remember,
bike, like, the
intermissions
meta
still
pick?
get 1 lap of that track. So out of
Because
these 3
that's
intermission
one I
options,
see
I would
all
choose
the
Great Question Block
time.
Ruins, no doubt. But what about if I choose random? Well, then
no
it would be a
joke, I think
25%
last
chance I
night
vote
I
Great
put me in a
Question
room
Block
with,
Ruins,
like,
a 50%
8
chance I
of
vote one of the
those.
intermissions I don't want to play, and a 25% chance I vote a
Maybe
traditional
not
3-lap.
rock bikes, but
Even if I
8,
do
like
roll that,
1/3
that's a
of
random track.
the
It very well could
room
be
was
dog
smooth.
shit. And who is this for? What does it
I
solve?
don't think I even
Even
have
if you
smooth
only
on
want to play
mods.
intermissions, why would you choose random? Now there's a 25% chance you won't play an intermission, and a 75% chance you'll just play one of the 3 options you could have already chose. This system doesn't benefit you either. In my experience, most
This
people
song
are still
is
choosing
giving me a
random, because at least there's
YTPMB
a chance.
idea that
This
I
actually
may
creates
or may
another
not
problem.
do.
Let's imagine that one of the intermission options is the race from Pizza Stadium to Koopa Troopa Beach. This intermission is awful. Even people who love intermissions are not going to vote for this. But people who want to pick
I'm
3-lap
Charlie
tracks
now.
have to risk voting for this track. And it's the same chance that you get this track over a traditional 3-lap track. 25%. This is all just to say that you're not only going to be playing more intermissions, but you're also going to be playing awful intermissions, ones that no one wants to vote for. So I'll ask again, who is this for? Unfortunately, nobody
This
benefits
guy
from
kind
this,
of did
except
like
people who
catch
to
the
spin
game
wheel
at the
for what they're
worst
gonna eat for
moment
breakfast
though.
every day.
Like when they made 3 laps less common,
But in all seriousness, it's
and
such an
not
F you to the
guaranteed
community. The
from
same
random.
community that spent over $500 to play this game. I feel even worse for people who waited to buy this game.
I don't
Remember,
mind
a lot of
the
people were skeptical of the intermissions from the start. I'm sure plenty
I
of people waited to see what
like
kind of
these
plays like. Then after seeing a bunch of videos, they realized, oh, I don't have to play the intermissions. I'm gonna buy a Switch too. Just for Nintendo to turn around and say, actually, yes, you do. You will play the intermissions. It's our way or the highway, literally. So the question is, why. Why do this? Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. But just for fun, I'll toss a few ideas out there. Option A. Nintendo is really stupid and ignorant. They somehow don't realize that everyone's choosing random because they don't want to play intermissions. I don't think this option is very likely. Nintendo is massive.
Why
I
would
just
you
don't
say
think that
that?
they're this unaware of how people enjoy playing their games. Even their community in Japan hates this. Option B. They think that by forcing us to play intermissions, we're going to get Stockholm Syndrome and start to like them. Yeah, I mean,
How long are we
maybe, but
going?
it's not working. People are
Oh, we're
mostly
already
just upset
like
and not
most
playing
of the
game
video
right now.
in.
Option C.
Shit.
They want us to play these
I'm about to
intermissions because they
find
made
another
them.
vid.
A lot of time went into these, and nobody's voting for them. I think this idea is probably the most viable, but it's also crazy given that it's
Sorry,
likely going to hurt the
the
game's
game is
reputation
too
and its sales.
fun. I
The
mean,
final
boring.
option is probably the most sinister option. Gambling. Gambling is highly addictive. By making the fun pre-lap tracks extremely rare, when they do come up, it feels like such a treat. Choosing random literally feels like unwrapping
The bouncers.
Pokemon cards. You're probably gonna get trashed, but maybe you'll pull a Charizard.
This
Again,
is TikTok.
I don't know what Nintendo's doing. Maybe they're playing 5D chess, and we're
There's
just
still
playing
some
checkers.
stuff
Feel free to
on
drop me a
the
5-paragraph
pre-roll
essay about why
tracks.
Nintendo was always right. Maybe sprinkle in some death threats too. Make it interesting.
Hanging out
Before I
with
move
the
on, I do want to
princesses.
say everyone's talking about this update like it's going to be reverted. That is entirely possible. Maybe even likely. If that happens, I will put it in the description. Hey, Future Xander here. Look, I know they updated the game. It did not fix any of the problems. Everything I still say here absolutely stands. I'll talk about that stupid update later in this video, but again, if they
Okay.
actually fix this system, I'll put it in the description. But wait, before you check, let's play a game. If it's there and they did change it, I will read and reply to every comment this video gets. Seriously. But if they didn't change it, you have to do something for me. I'm a pretty small
What?
YouTuber right now, so the best thing you can do for me is subscribe. That tells
No.
YouTube to send this video to
No.
more people, which is the
They have
hardest
to
part
change
about
it.
doing this
I
on
don't
YouTube.
want to
Or you can
subscribe.
just subscribe for a
No.
switch too. Remember, I'm
I have
doing
to
a giveaway,
resist
but I understand
the-
a lot of people don't want to subscribe. So maybe just leave a like. That helps too. And thank you. If you actually did that,
3/4 of the video
okay,
in
back
is
to
funny.
it. Assuming they haven't fixed online, you have two other options. Your first option is to have a bunch of friends that play this game. You can create your own private room and do races with each other that way. This is great for 1v1s, but if you want a full lobby, you would need 23 friends.
Alright, we're going to
Or you just
Wario
fill the
now.
rest with bots. This is where the second option becomes much more appealing. It's a community-run Discord server where people make their own rooms, with their own rules. You can easily find rooms that only allow 3-lap tracks. Perfect. Not really. Matchmaking is entirely an honor system. There's no VR score. And to put it simply, most people just don't want to rely on an external source to play their game. Also, before I forget, what the hell is this? Look at these custom settings. They're non-existent. You can't even disable items. What happened to being able to control the race? We used to be able to enable or disable items that we want. If I wanted to play a race with only
They did add
crucials, I
that.
could do that.
They did
Obviously, it's
update
dumb,
that,
but
I
it's
believe.
custom made. That's the whole point. Also, take a look at this. In the course selection, you can either choose open, which means all
Oh,
tracks
busy
are
right
allowed,
now.
random, which is random, and connected, which just means only intermissions. Notice anything? Where is the option to choose only traditional tracks? Once again, the answer is all the way up Nintendo's ass. Hey, speaking of Nintendo's ass, you know what else is missing up there? Amiibos. Where did those go? No one knows. What about Mii's? Nope,
We're
those are gone too.
fucked.
Rip
There's
those,
no- the
probably because they
Amiibos.
were in such a rush. I mean, they had to pump this game out in only 8 years. But somehow they
I am
squeezed
going
these
to-
shits into the game. The binoculars from Super Mario Odyssey.
No, that's
Why
not
is this here? Also, this game wasn't even meant to be for Switch 2. Originally, it was a Switch 1 game, but supposedly it ran like shit.
I'm
And instead of
gonna
trying to fix that, they
blow
just
up
decided
the
to launch
Switch
it on
2
Switch
and
2
sell
for
the
$80.
fucking game.
80 fucking
Oh my God,
dollars.
why did I
And
do
this is what
that?
Nintendo had to say about that.
I would say it's less about the strategy of pricing Mario Kart World. It's more just whenever we look at a given game, we just look at what is the experience and what's
Roll
the content
metal.
and what's the value.
Really? Who makes these choices? God? Why is Donkey Kong Bonanza $10 cheaper
You know what
than
bagging
Mario Kart
is?
World?
They
Is it
talked
just
about in the
valuable?
video,
I don't think
so
It got
yes,
better reviews.
but I
Am
kinda
just supposed to
don't
believe
care
that
enough to
Nintendo
do
wasn't
that.
being strategic about their pricing for the launch title of the Switch 2? No, of course they were. They charge this
It's
because
okay.
they can. Okay, I've been really critical of this game. And being critical is fun and easy. What's not easy is giving genuine advice. and
I don't know,
fixes.
maybe I'm just
I'll
easily
separate these
amused.
fixes into two categories.
Cause like,
The
I'm
first
not
will be
really
small
playing
fixes
Mario
that
Kart
improve
to
the
win
gameplay
that
experience
much.
and don't take much
I'm
effort.
large
Then the next
now.
category will focus on much bigger changes, things that require a bit more emphasis. These changes would probably
What
take
the
at
fuck?
least
We're
several months to
large
do.
and
Let's start with the first
Uh-oh.
category. I wish that this game would fix the character selection screen. Make skins part of characters. Since there's multiple pages, add a favorites bar. Also, show the stats for the character you're hovering on. It's relevant. Change the map button from Y to minus. When you're looking at the map, show how many collectibles there are. Make smart steering off by default. Allow us control over items and custom.
When you get that bag, that's right. That's right. That's why I gotta make all the ad revenue of the stream to pay off my Switch
also
2
change
debt.
the thumbnail of the intermissions, or at least highlight it yellow so it's visually distinct from the other tracks. When you play multiplayer, have an option to choose between intermission tracks only, traditional tracks only, and mixed. Make the random button actually select a random track, not just one of these. Remove everyone who doesn't own the game from the friends tab. Make the
This
free
plays
roam
pretty
icon
good,
bold
though.
and big.
I really
And in
like this
private rooms,
game's,
remove the waiting for
Wario
host to start
Stadium.
game icon. Allow players to join each other in online knockout tours. When you get knocked out, you should be able to spectate whoever you want, not just the person in first. Remove the waiting times between races. Just go straight in. Also, remove the
Okay.
triple mushroom guarantee if you miss the serve boost. This is not an extensive list, and these changes should
Is there
not be
really a
part of
triple
simple
mushroom?
That's the
You
whole
missed the
point.
start
If
boost. I
Nintendo
didn't
wanted
know
to make
that,
these
because
changes,
I'm
I
good
bet
at
they could
this
be done in
game.
a week, and it would make the game substantially stronger. Nonetheless, the game would still have some major issues. If we want to fix those, we're gonna have to do some much deeper changes. Like, starting with the open world, I think this really lacks a reward structure. The stickers just don't cut it, so what else could be a reward? I think the characters, the carts, and the skins. The characters are already roaming the open world, but imagine if you had to catch them to unlock them. Kinda like Manhunt. If they see you, they try to drive away, but if you crash into them with your cart, you unlock them as a character. Ideally, some characters
I
would be
don't
harder to
think-
catch than others. Maybe they could even use rails or throw green shells at you. And if it's too
Gar-
hard, just come
Didn't
back
they make
to
a
it later.
Garfield
Not
Kart
everything
2
has to be
last
super
year?
easy. I also think
It
you
was-
shouldn't
it
have
wasn't
all the
very
tracks
good,
as warp points
supposedly.
right off the bat. You should at least have to drive to the track to unlock it as a warp point. Again, this rewards exploration. Filling out a map is really satisfying. Perhaps every track could hold a piece of the map, and then once you get that map, you're able to see what characters are in that area. Collecting skins and carts is going to get completely reworked. They're both going to be rewards for P-switches now. If you see a purple P-switch, you'll get a skin. If you see a red P-switch, you'll get a cart. These P-switches will be some of the harder ones, like unique tests of skill. The rest of the P-switches will still be blue, but instead of a sticker, they'll give you coins. Then you can use the coins to buy the skins. There will be a shop at Peach's Stadium where you can buy
my
every
God,
skin.
dude,
However,
no.
Yoshi's
No.
Island is still going to
No.
exist. If you
I
want
don't
them
li-
for
I
free,
don't
you
know.
can
I
also
don't like
use
this
both.
guy's
Beyond just buying
ideas.
skins, you can also use your coins to get paint jobs. Nothing crazy to make the car look completely different, just a little something to get
I do
attention.
think it's
You
kind
can
of
also
weird
buy
the way
race
you
routes,
unlock
which will let you
skins,
set
just
your own route
getting
for a
food.
race. Literally anywhere in free
Like,
roam.
Nintendo
Then
made
you
the
can
most
publish that race
beautiful
to your friends,
food
and they
item, so you can
of
just
course,
eat them
90% of the
immediately.
races would just be dicks,
like,
but who knows,
okay.
maybe that would be fun. Private rooms now allow you to use P-switches.
I
Now you can
don't-
go do them
I
with
don't
your
know about
friends.
the
Mirror mode
coin
is
shop.
no longer unlocked by doing a bunch of random shit. Instead, you have
Now
to find a
they're
secret
making
mirror
it
in each track. I think these changes to
Every
freedom would
game
go a
Mario
long way in
Odyssey
making freedom
now.
wasn't just forgotten about. It certainly would never compare to
It's
something
kind of
like Breath
ironic.
the
I
Wild,
love
but it
Mario
doesn't really
Odyssey.
have
I
to.
played a
After
little
all,
bit.
free roam is kind of a side mode
I'll go
compared
back
to
and
races.
play more. I
Speaking
played a
of
little
races,
bit of
let's
it
fix
on the
this.
Switch too.
Sandbagging needs to be
revisit.
nerfed. Ideally, these massive shortcuts get entirely removed, or at the very least have some risk involved. Throw in some obstacles or enemies. Next, we need to buff front.
I mean, I
The
like this
easiest way to
gutter
do
full
this
of
would be to
chain
add more
chomps around
shortcuts.
Toad's
Not these
factory.
big
It's
ass
kinda
ones,
funny.
but little corner cuts to help you stay ahead of the pack. Speaking of the
Remember
pack,
this
it
one?
needs to be dispersed.
I don't know.
Everyone is way too clumped together. The main reason for that is because the fastest way to drive this track is also the easiest. Everyone
I'm not
takes the
bad.
same
Wait, no,
routes,
I'm-
so
I'm
add some more
begging.
routes. Make some faster. Make
Wait.
some harder. Introduce some risk.
Wait,
Even if
is
the
that
road
how
is just a
bagging was
wide, straight
invented?
line, you can use
Bro,
rails
you're
to
like
make
in last
very
place.
interesting routes. This would make the
Ever
skill
heard of
ceiling way
bagging?
higher on all of the intermissions. The best strategy would now be to drive in first and be skilled enough to pull off the hardest
Ever heard of
shortcuts.
bagging?
Crazy, I know. Playing 4-player mode is now 60 FPS. Come on, guys, it's a Switch 2. Knockout Tour now has a custom mode. You can now choose which
Is it not
intermission
support
tracks the
60
races
to
on,
4
where it
players?
starts and
Split
ends.
screen?
Amiibos and Miis are back. 100%ing Grand Prix mode gives you a
Yes,
built-in range.
amiibos. I love
100%ing
spending
Knockout
more
Tour
money
gives
on
you
the
a built-in
game.
cart. These changes would make Mario Kart World a much
I
fuller
love bullet
experience.
bills.
Single player would actually have things to do, and multiplayer might actually be balanced. These
I don't
changes
know,
are
it's very
very
ironic to
fun.
complain about the
Obviously
price
wouldn't change
point
the
and
game
then
overall.
want
I tried to
amiibo
keep these
support.
changes somewhat realistic as to not entirely
That-
rewrite
the
the
bull
game. That's
lasted
an
way
entirely
too
different conversation, but nonetheless, Nintendo is never going to make one of these changes.
Oh, did we get the
So,
second?
they
Yes.
made a few
Okay.
changes.
Awesome.
While I
I
was
never
wrapping
done
up
that.
the editing for this video, they released version 1.2.0.
That was
This
kind
is
of
my
bullshit.
live reaction to that.
but
Wait,
it's okay.
wait.
I'll take a nice 8th place. That used to be the worst, but now it's like
1.2.0? I'm scared. I was honestly hoping for one thing. Just one thing. I wanted to go back to having the choice to vote for a 3-lap track if I wanted to. So, did they make that change? Well, before I answer that, let's look at the more minor changes. I'm gonna specifically focus on the things that I called out. Firstly, thankfully, they let us have a bit more customization during versus races. Now you can choose stuff like mushrooms only or just disable bots. Nice. They also made it so you can spectate other people during knockout tours.
Did they make
Also, once you collect all the collectibles, they change colors, so you'll know that you've collected them all. So far, so good. Decrease the probability of getting triple mushroom. Okay, well, this one just seems like a lie. From my experience, it still seems like you're guaranteed triple red mushrooms if you miss the start boost. So I'm not really sure what they were giving you. They also made the boost from doing tricks way more powerful. So I hope you didn't have a world record because it's about to get stolen. Overall, these changes are mostly fine. They're simple, small, but beneficial. But ultimately, there's only one change that really everyone's been asking for. Did they fix the intermissions? Did they fix the voting system? The answer is, can we get a drum roll? Did they put it all back?
Nope.
Is there an option? Is there an option? No! What did the update do? The update did say it increased the frequency of seeing lap-type courses in this election. But by how much exactly? I thought surely there would be at least one option to vote for a 3-lap track. But then I saw this. No! 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 There's no way! I was shocked, but maybe they just reverted it to how it was, where random always selected a 3-lap track. So everyone voted random as per usual, and it was still one of the intermissions we see on the screen. No, 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 no. I'm not playing that shit. Chat, this is weird. This is weird. Very weird. So, I wanted to try to figure out the probabilities
Raven
myself.
God.
I loaded up a
Awesome
private room with
name.
my friend and raced 40 times. Out of the 40 races, I figured out random hasn't changed at all. Still a 25% chance of getting a 3-lap track. As for the other voting options, these were my findings. 40% of the time, I
might
got
not
one
be
option for
one
a 3-lap
person,
track.
might not be
60% of the time, I got only
say so.
intermissions. Wow. I'm not even sure what to say to that. They saw what the community wanted. They knew what we were asking for. This is not a solution. It's a band-aid on a gunshot wound. If this is Nintendo's only response to this problem, this game will die. The marginally better odds of getting a 3-lap track is simply not enough. The solution is not to increase the probability. It's to give you a consistent choice to pick a 3-lap track. What exactly is the point of this? Going from a 30% chance of a 3-lap to a 40% chance? Did they think that would be enough? They put all their chips into these intermission tracks, and when they didn't work, they doubled down. And then tripled down? I respect them trying new ideas. They could have just played it safe and pressed the easy button. Released Mario Kart 9 with a couple new tracks and a few new characters. Instead, they took on a massive undertaking with the open world, knockout tour, and some really well-designed tracks. These ones, not these ones. It's cool to innovate, but after 11 years, I expect more. Mario Kart 8 came out in 2014. They had so much time to think this through, yet it feels like one massive jumble of ideas that don't work with one another. It's as if anyone on the dev team could just yell out an idea and it would just make it into the game. It's a mess. It's slop. But slop isn't always bad. This game can be really fun. At its heart, it's still Mario Kart, and the Mario Kart formula is fun. Period. Streaming this game for a week was so much fun, and I still love playing it about 25% of the time. The reason I hate this game is because of how much I wanted to love it. For all the things that it does right, it does twice as many things wrong.
Anyway, here's Bowser's Castle. Bowser's Castle.
And who knows what's next? Mario Kart World is likely going to be the only Mario Kart game for the next decade. But
Oh damn it! I keep doing that.
Thank you so much for watching this whole video. Genuinely.
Bowser's Castle.
If you still somehow want to play this game, don't forget, I'm doing a Switch 2 giveaway with Mario Kart World. All you have to do is subscribe and follow the instructions in front of you. Whether you agree with me or not, I appreciate you listening. I've been since the game's release.
I just killed
I'm sad that it's over. Just the journey alone of making this video has been kind of wild. A large majority of it has been sitting in a hospital. Unfortunately, my heart stopped.
Oh my god, what?
It's not a joke. But I'm fine now. I have a pacemaker.
Oh my god, man.
Luckily,
I'm
it's
sorry.
soon my daily life, which means I can keep making videos for my loyal Patreons and members. Thank you, Patreons and members. If you do want to support me and the video, the best thing you could do is leave a like
he's
and
okay.
drop a comment. Good luck to everyone who tries to win the Switch 2. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you want to support me, all my links in the description. I'm gonna go play Donkey Kong.
I'm glad he could give away his Switch 2. A Chris Pratt jump scare.
Bye-bye.
Well, is there anything in the description? No. Yeah, he acknowledged the update. Well, That's it. That's well. I don't know if I want to stop playing the stream. I don't know. I'll say someone has another video to another bad video. I don't know. Oops, wrong one. I don't feel jaded yet. I don't know. I don't know. I think something's wrong with me. I do think, honestly, his comment about bagging was probably something I never considered. 3 laps of Shy Guy. I don't know, they still seem pretty common to me, but maybe... I don't know. I went into this game expecting what I got, what you get, and I got it. We are going to die. Cut to commercial break. Okay, no, never mind. I was gonna make a joke where it's like a character falling, goes and then it cuts to the commercial break, and then it comes back and go but no, didn't happen, and it never will. So how's it going? I didn't know they had Mario World Final Boss. Or no, that's Bowser Castle from Super Mario Kart. Mostly the same song, but not quite. It is easy to just hear a bit of a song that references another song and be like, oh, it's the original song. Songs. Like, I don't know, his thing about bagging, that might be legit. Bagging and shortcuts might be pretty bad on these tracks. But I don't know, I'm not playing Mario Kart for the balance. Goodbye, Pauline. I do not hold any ill will towards Xander and his video. Even if I did think the amiibo thing was very funny. Wait, did Arlo make a video? Arlo made a fucking video, didn't he? Shit, okay, I'm gonna swap out videos next stream. Arlo made a goddamn video, didn't he? Should've, ow. Where's it going? No, this is Mario. This is Mario's house. I don't know, maybe mushroom shortcuts are overpowered. Maybe this game's got balance issues. I don't know, this game might... The problem is that this game might be great in a way like Super Smash Bros. Brawl. The way I like Super Smash Bros. Brawl is like... Yeah, I know it's fucked, but it's awesome. They're calling it the Brawl of Mario Karts. Oh god. That was okay. I'm encroaching on 7K. Okay, I'll take a little. I think I'm gonna hop out of the room a little bit, take a break, and put on the soothing sounds of the. Good night. The Arlo challenge. Where is he? This sticker is just Mario Kart in like the old. It looks bad. Awesome. This one here, the Focus one is just a heart with a melty on it. This is like an accessory. This is like a Lolita fashion accessory that's going for like 5,000 yen. We also got the neon parasol. Okay, hold up. We're gonna Arvo Max. His most recent video is I don't understand Nintendo anymore. Yeah, I figured he wouldn't be hot on that. Direct. Here we go. Alright, we got a half-hour game. I'm actually gonna get up for a second before we start. Oh, look at the great preview we got here. Great preview we got here. Frame 1 promotion. Okay, just a sec. Okay. Idea I had for like a TikTok or like an Instagram reel video. They will never beat the Donkey Kong challenge. Bam, 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 boom, bam, boom, boom. All of them. And like the worst music you've ever heard like goes over these. Yeah, that's it. I have friends online, but they're not playing this game because they're noobs. Oh. Alright, before we start, hop back in. Let's see what.
This video was brought to you by
Yeah.
I want to jump to conclusion.
Hold up.
Before we get started, I want to make a few things very clear for the.
Okay, I guess it's just the first second. Here we got our. We've beaten the DK challenge. Now it comes the Arlo challenge 2. Everybody's been waiting for it. The Arlo challenge 2. It's half an hour and it's which is considerably shorter than the Arlo challenge 1. This game's so beautiful. I love seeing the Marios drive around. Alright, I think we're gonna queue for Knockout Tour. Yeah, I ain't done it yet. We can pick another. You can pick the little sailor last with a lollipop. But there is no lollipop, sadly. You just have to take my word on it. Alright. Let's start, Arlo.
The early TLDW commenters who saw the title
This is called
and want to
Nintendo has never fumbled a game
I'm
this
not
before.
claiming that Mario Kart World is a failure. Far from it. At the time of this recording, it has already reached the upper echelons of video game sales and will most likely
All these
make the
people got, like,
best-selling
7K.
games of all time
I'm
list sometime in the next, like, I don't know, couple years. 2. I do not believe Mario Kart World is a bad game.
Oh wait,
Also,
shit.
far
How am I
from
gonna
it.
beat
Go
Jaded?
watch my review for my full thoughts, but I think in many ways it's phenomenal. The gameplay is twice as fun as Mario Kart has ever been in my eyes. I think it's so polished and the new mechanics are so much fun that going back to the older games is gonna feel like going back to plain scrambled eggs after having an omelet. Like, scrambled eggs are great, but come on. And even if the open world has problems, it's still a great achievement from a design perspective.
You can put things in scrambled eggs too.
At its core, Mario Kart World
That's very vague because you can just have an omelet plain.
Nintendo has definitely messed up other games more badly than this one. Overall, they got real design chops, naturally. But, you know, they do miss the mark from time to time, and they've put out other games that were more poorly designed.
I don't think it's displaying on stream in my capture card.
Whichever game would make you most
For some
mad.
reason, the output
But what
has
I
not
want to
been
convey
kind.
in this here internet video is that I
Frame
believe,
rate rise.
considering the
Ugh.
Mario Kart pedigree, considering Nintendo's own skill,
Wait, I'm ahead.
considering the
Why?
monumental importance of this
they're not
title,
begging
I
enough.
think one could make the case that they have never screwed up this badly. They have never fumbled the execution of a game this hard. I know that's kind of an extreme claim,
Really?
but bear with me. Despite being a Wii U port, Mario
First
Kart
place,
is
baby. We're getting the
best-selling
3-star
game on Switch
ranking.
and one of Nintendo's best-selling games of all time, netting them
We're
an
getting coins.
unfathomable amount of money. They put out a lot of games with broad appeal, but nothing appeals to more human beings than Mario Kart. It's
True.
so accessible, so approachable. Anyone and everyone can pick it up and immediately start having fun. It's the perfect
Coin
party
and
game.
feather.
It's a game you can
I'm
confidently
not allowed
buy
to
for
defend
any kid.
myself.
When you get
I
a
guess
new
you can.
Nintendo system and you're trying to figure out what to buy, you just want something fun to play with, it's always going to be a safe bet. Mario Kart is...
I'll jump into it.
Well, the Switch never got its own Mario Kart. It was stuck with
It was
for
never
the whole entire long generation. The longest in Nintendo history. might I
Pokey.
remind you. So when
That
they announced
can't
that
miss
a new
me
Mario
somehow.
Kart was coming at last, and it was going to be a launch title for the Switch 2, to say the pressure was on Nintendo to deliver.
I'll never
would be an
unlock Pokey,
understatement.
who is not
Both the
unlockable.
fans and the investors, I'm
Because
sure,
the
were
base
expecting
game.
the same thing. And to their credit, Nintendo did cook up something pretty big. I mean, we all know they really could have just pumped out another regular old Mario Kart with a couple new ideas and politics and stuff and called it a day, and it would have still been plenty popular and made them plenty of money. So it's commendable that after such a huge gap between releases, they really wanted to do something special. They wanted to give Mario Kart its big Breath of the Wild moment. That moment when a very old series is completely refreshed.
I wouldn't really say all that,
Feels
but
truly modern, completely impossible on previous hardware. And again, you can't deny that what Nintendo did is impressive from a design perspective. Sure, there have been other open world driving games. They didn't break new ground for technical, but this was not a lazy endeavor. They clearly spent a long time creating this world. This was one of those lengthy, years and years long dev cycles where they play around and iterate and try to get things just right. But despite their lofty expectations for the very first open world Mario Kart, I think that open world is at the crux of the issue. And this is the first way I feel Nintendo fumbled the game. They seem to have wildly
the game. I just
misjudged
lost
the
it.
appeal
Fuck.
of this world
I hate you, Arlo. I hate you,
or maybe
Arlo.
more accurately,
I'm never
they
watching your
misjudged
vids again.
what an open world needs in order to be.
There's some yummy cookies in
Before we
candy.
continue discussing
Oh, it
how
turned into a pro racer
multi-billion-dollar
though.
corporation at height of success did bad, actually. A quick
Racing.
reminder that this video was brought to you by
Wait, this is only.
I needed a website where I could recommend
Oh wait, yeah,
things
this is
to my
12 or better.
but I did not know how to build a website because such a thing
Why do you keep
sounded
forgetting I'm in
very
knockout?
scary. I don't know how to code, and I refuse to learn. Well, you know what? Squarespace
Damn,
has
this
my
racing
back.
going
Whether
on
you've
for
been
a
in the
while.
game for a long time or you're a newbie like me, there is no faster and easier way to build a site. The intuitive builder lets you make your site however you want, adding text and embedding pics. and
Oh wait,
videos,
everybody's.
graphics, formatting, tweaking. It's
Yeah, see, I'm bad at
you can
knockout
build
tour.
almost anything, even something nice and fancy for your business if you like.
What?
Me, I am a simple blogger. I just draft up my posts, schedule them to automatically
What is this?
publish,
Is this
and even
push
push to
another
social
program?
media at predetermined dates, and I'm good to go. Even running my site is easy. And if I ever need more, Squarespace offers many powerful
Okay, yeah.
extensions. That's not a stop 10% off. This video,
Oh, really?
Big Think offers a bounty of wonderful, accessible
Okay, man, I
education.
get it.
Tremendous amount of the mind continues watching this video, so full of great, smart
I'd love to watch Bowser,
Their
but
games often eschew
next
more
race.
traditional progression systems
Next
like
game.
RPG mechanics or achievement lists and whatnot in favor of systems that
Next
naturally
game.
inspire intrinsic motivation. They want your desire to
Welcome to
engage
Koopa
with their
Beach.
game to be emergent, not based as much on external or extrinsic rewards. And they do very
Yes,
often
true.
succeed. Breath of the Wild is probably the very best example of that, of encouraging engagement without dangling cookies in front of the player. I think that's what they were going for with Mario Kart World. And I also think that they did not really consider how much of a gamble they were taking in doing this. This world just doesn't have a lot going on. There are collectibles, but they don't really do anything. There are no significant rewards for grabbing them, and at first you couldn't even track which ones you've gotten. It seems that
Thank you,
Nintendo was so insistent on the journey mattering more than the destination that we couldn't even get a list for our pickups. And I've talked about this loads of times. Basically, I get that plenty of people are totally cool with this kind of thing. You can collect this stuff if you want, but it's not required, and the fun is its own reward. In a perfect world, maybe we would all feel that way, but
Yeah.
it's just not how everyone's brains work.
So basically,
Sometimes
I'm
we need
perfect,
a
and
little
there's nothing
extra
wrong
motivation.
with me. And if
We wanna
everyone's
work
like,
towards
"Be
something.
perfect,"
We
Thank you,
at all,
Arlo.
which
I love
feels
you, yeah.
completely impossible without a
Welcome to
guide.
Desert
You have
Island.
no idea where those last few pickups are, and it would take hours and hours only the map to find them. Nintendo did end up patching in a proper tracking system, but personally, I've not found the motivation to dive back into the game and start over. I don't know. I might have done it on day one, but the momentum is kind of dead for me, and I have to wonder how many others might feel the same way. But that's small potatoes. The lack of collectible tracking wasn't the biggest problem. The real problem
just small
was, and is,
potatoes.
that these
I'm not that
pieces,
important.
coins and halos are basically it. This is
Safari
all there
baby.
is to do in this world. There are no other real challenges.
All
no
the baby
goals to
princesses
work
have the same
towards.
costumes, and you think it's like boring, but they all kind of have like little differences.
It seems that Nintendo
Baby
really did
Rosalina's like
expect things
touring
to be
outfit
like they
from
were in the marketing material. They thought
that
fans
was
would
to
wanna drive around and chat with
those
each other.
things.
They would create their own story.
I swear that always happens to me.
I don't know, man. That didn't really happen. I have no doubt that there have been people who have done this, played around with each other and had fun exploring the world. It's just that there isn't really anything to explore, is there? Not a lot of interesting stuff to find. Breath of the Wild, this ain't. The game doesn't have enough crazy systems to create these emergent experiences Nintendo wants. When they revealed the game, I thought the idea of an open-world Mario Kart was a dream. I'm not really big on racing, so this was exactly what the game needed to do to grab my attention. And you know, I do like driving around this world. It is fun just to cruise about, taking in the sights, and maybe doing a few P-switch challenges for like 20 minutes. And then when nothing really interesting happens, I get full and I'm done. For the most part, this really is just a glorified lobby to mess around in while you're waiting for an online match. I think the big issue here is the game's potential and player expectation. Strictly speaking, this big world should be nothing but a plus, something that only adds to the experience. No other Mario Kart game has an online lobby this cool, but with games there's this weird psychological thing where if you present an idea with a lot of potential, but you don't realize that potential, the player can be left with a feeling of dissatisfaction they wouldn't have otherwise felt if the idea wasn't
Is that true?
at all. I feel the desert in Metroid Prime 4
Is our little place
if all the game's areas
psychopath?
were connected together with nothing between, it wouldn't. It really wouldn't
But he's
magically
the
fix the game,
poop
but I
shortcut.
think it would have been a lot less contentious.
Like I
But when you
hated.
stick this big empty desert in the middle, driving
Dan.
around here takes up
Sorry, I already
very
forgot your
little
name,
of the game.
I said like he's
Just
ever
like
gonna see
Hyrule
this.
Field and Ocarina of Time, it's just a place between places.
Yeah, somebody
You
did cut
rarely
through
spend
that.
more than a
I do
few
think it's a
minutes
that's a
when
funny
it does
shortcut.
something to a player's brain.
Uh-oh.
Suddenly it's like, why is there nothing here? Why did
Okay.
I put this here? There's this
The
feeling
last
that
5
something
seconds of a
really
leg girl
create
is just like a
something
complete
open
fight
world
for
in this
survival.
Metroid game of all things, but failed to pull it off, and it brings the game down. This perceived failure of design is practically all anyone talks about. It's the game's whole identity. Mario Kart World's world should be nothing but a plus. But instead, I'm left wondering why they bothered to put in all this work to create this huge place. Why they toyed with turning Mario Kart into something much
Hello,
bigger than
3D
ever.
Bob. CW bad.
And instead delivered something that is essentially
I should have
just
put
a
that
big
there.
jungle gym. I drive around expecting to make
Who's that?
actual
Is
discoveries, to
Is that the Among Us
world in
TV
some
show?
way, to be given tasks
I've
to
I've
complete.
heard
In
the
my
Among Us
mind's eye,
TV
I
show
see some
is
kind of
like
simple story, some cool
not bad.
characters,
As in people do
something,
not have
but
high
it's just
expectations
not there.
watching it
And
and
this
it's like, oh, it's
potential
not bad.
brings the game down.
Alright, I'm
Again,
going to die.
the empty world is the only thing anyone talks about. Whereas if they hadn't given us the world in the first place, we'd all be like, wow, look at this game.
Yeah, the quest to become Jaded's not going too well.
And to
I'm
misjudge
gonna
the
be
appeal of the
honest.
game's hook is fine. I mean, it happens. But the point I'm trying to make is that to misjudge and underdeliver so dramatically, to spend so many years creating something that ultimately doesn't even feel like that much of a selling point, in this case, this is Mario Kart. This is Mario Kart, the first brand new one in 11 years. History repeats itself. The single most important game that will ever land on Switch 2. Available
Cold
on
Underworld.
day one. The enormous push to kickstart an
It's
entire
okay, his fur
generation.
is
The rocket fuel to blast it up. Not just a new generation, but the follow-up to their most wildly
Arlo has a-
successful generation ever.
He is a very complicated
Ultimately feel
internal temperature regulation
it's like if
system. Oh my
Nintendo
god.
spent 6 years on Tears of the
I
Kingdom.
don't think. Oh, well, we're only
Just
halfway
because
through
Ultra
this.
Hand was so complex, they spent an entire extra year just polishing it up, and then they released it, and no one cared about the mechanic at all. Like they just ignored it. No one even
What?
talked about it. It would be like if Nintendo
What is he not
hyped up
caring
and
about?
released Splatoon, and everyone was like, the shooting each other part is good.
I
but
lost.
inking
He said something
around
about
and
Zelda.
swimming through it, a Twitter poll is not an incredibly strong source of data. I did a series of
Yep.
polls just to get a basic vibe check among my followers.
I still wish Blue Sky had polls, man.
Fine folks, right?
I have to put my shit on Tumblr
Overwhelming majority
because
bought the
nobody,
game either
they don't
because
got
it's
polls
Mario
on Blue
Kart
Sky.
or because it was fun. And
It's
only a
worthless
tiny
website.
percentage
Worthless
felt that the
website.
open world was a big deal.
I can't
It's a big deal.
find people who love Mario Kart there.
But if
Nobody.
these polls reflect the general consensus whatsoever, then
Not many
Nintendo
polls.
spent years and years trying to create a Mario Kart with a wild left field
Nope,
next
he's-
gen hook.
I almost
and
ran
just
straight to
kinda
the
didn't
wall.
pull it off. Now I'll admit, maybe I'm assuming too much. Maybe giving Mario Kart its big Breath
Alright.
of the Wild moment
Section
was
5.
never their intention. Maybe they did.
I don't normally get
exactly
this
what
far.
they set out to do. Maybe they never wanted more than this. A glorified
I don't
hobby
know. I
of
haven't
friends
like
to
been
mess
begging
around
or
in
nothing,
the
and I've been
But
doing
again,
pretty
player
good.
expectation matters. Realizing potential matters. And in this current landscape, internet
Ow.
discourse isn't everything, but it sure is something. And here, still very early in the generation, the entire conversation.
Yeah, this is a real
surrounding
like
Mario Kart
TikTok
World
Subway
is messy.
server
There's this pervasive feeling that the game just didn't quite land the way it should have. The Switch 2 is still selling well, but I think such a misfire on day one, especially when combined with all these other controversies, has set things on a weird track.
Okay.
Pun intended.
Wait, why did I think
This
that was
big new
this was the
Mario
next
Kart
check?
should have been nothing but cause for celebration. One of those pivotal moments in the history of Nintendo's new system. But instead, pretty much all you see
Oh
is
no.
that.
Oh no.
And it's not
This
just
might
that
end.
the open
This
world
that
feels
it's
too
over.
empty. The vast majority
It's
of
over.
players seem to hate being forced onto all these intermission tracks, as they're called, when racing online. Nintendo, on the other hand,
No more
seems
items.
to
I'm
be particularly
fucked.
proud of this feature. I think they felt it was kind of the whole point of this new game.
Yeah.
Again, they've dramatically misjudged the game's appeal. And
That's
it's been this long and bloody battle with players trying to figure out how to get 3 regular old laps on a regular old track, and Nintendo
Yo,
not
to
wanting
Masked
to give it
Man
to them.
from
The company
Mama
has
3.
conceded somewhat and
Just as I
increased the
remember.
likelihood of regular
Let's see
races.
who wins.
But just ask the question, why are they fighting with their players again? Why is this happening at all? This is ridiculous. They are literally trying to force an experience that the vast majority of
Oh, I
players
didn't know there were
do
other
not
things.
want. Which leads us to the second way I feel Nintendo
I didn't know there were
really
other
fumbled
messages
Mario
here.
Kart. And it's very much related
Like, it's not
to
like
the
they can
first
see
one.
them.
Once again, it's about expectation and potential. And I want to briefly highlight another
Toad
game
one.
with a similar story. No one, not even Nintendo, could have ever anticipated that Animal Crossing New Horizons would blow up the way it did. If Switch 2 and its games landed at an unfortunate time in history, New Horizons was the opposite. The planets aligned for Nintendo. This was a stroke of luck, the likes of which they will probably never see again. Launching right at the start, just exactly at the start of a global pandemic. Right when the Switch install base was really
Yeah,
rolling.
that was a
and
Murmasa.
everyone was
They're
locked
making a
up
new
at
one of
home
those.
looking for some good old escapism. Now, one
How
could
much-
probably argue that New
A little more
Horizons suffered
halfway.
from Mario Kart World's first problem as well.
What'd
launching
everyone
in a
think of the
somewhat bare
Nintendo
state that
Direct?
disappointed many players. However, they
I thought it
did
was okay.
update the game a lot, and even from day one, it offered a ton of island.
To be honest, I don't actually
likes
like
of which the series
expect
has
that
never
much
seen
from
before.
Nintendo
I may be a
anymore.
casual fan, but
This
I was
isn't like
actually
I
quite
hate
happy
them.
with it for a good
I'm
while.
just like
But for the sake of
not
conversation,
like
let's say the content content on offer was
like a hype
it was enough.
beast
I mean, everyone was
about
playing
video
it,
games,
so
you know?
clearly it was
Like this
enough.
system has
The big
Mario
problem
Kart
is
and
that
Donkey
suddenly
Kong, and
Nintendo
like that's
had
enough
this
to keep me
massive
satiated.
game. I mean,
Because
it felt
I
like
am-
the entire
I am
world
the-
was playing it.
I
This
am the
was how
bastard
people
of
were
Earth.
connecting with each other when they couldn't visit in person. It became this social craze. Nintendo, unfortunately, being Nintendo, hadn't really fleshed out
The
the
classic
game's
Arlo
online
tangent
features.
where he
It was
just
still a
like
big pain
starts
to visit someone else's
starts
island.
talking about different
Communication
games.
features were very
The
limited,
classic
and
Arlo
people loved
tangent.
the world, but were
Yes,
looking for
Fishbone.
more stuff to do. Any other company in the world, any other company would have gotten to work right
Welcome
away,
to
improving
Hasbin
the game,
Hotel.
improving it online,
No.
developing regular content for it. Like, Nintendo basically had the next hit MMO on their hands. It just fell into their lap. The kind of opportunity
Welcome to
that rich
Swoop.
executives dream about. So what did they do with this opportunity?
I don't
What
know,
did
do they have
Nintendo
Swoop
do?
unlocked?
Jack Diddley Squat. New Horizons got some basic updates over time. It had all the content that Nintendo had clearly been planning since the beginning, but it didn't really get much else. They sure as sugar didn't improve the online experience. Nope, they just stayed the course and treated this like any old Animal Crossing game.
Who the fuck is
Lightning in a
Woonty.com?
bottle
Don't go
chance
to
to
that.
take something really massive and blow it up even more?
I think
Business as usual for Nintendo.
maybe I'm
Locked out,
too
cashed the checks,
defensive
all
here,
and
but
I can imagine the
I feel like
CEOs of the other
rewriting
big
the
companies were watching the
online
Animal
for
Crossing
Animal
situation
Crossing
and
would
just
have like taken a new
punching
game.
their couch cushions and screaming their heads off as Nintendo just
I don't
let this
think I don't know if that's
opportunity
something they could have patched out.
These guys would have hired
Hold on, I
a
gotta lock in.
dedicated team
Just kidding.
just to
Come on,
work on
guys.
nothing but
Come on.
Animal Crossing for the foreseeable future. They would have fast-tracked development on the next content.
It does feel like they've been using the same
Given the
online
game
code since like a while ago.
And of course,
I don't know,
they
I
would have
can't
stuffed
prove it,
into the gills with
but
cosmetic
that's what it feels like. They've just been updating that same
actually appreciate that
system.
Nintendo is a little old-fashioned.
This is Starview Peak, which kind of sucks, but fortunately we're not driving on it, we're just driving through it. Thank God we don't have any of those nasty 3 laps.
They are still willing to just make
Guy
the
who
game
only
sell
plays
for a
knockout tour
price
because he
and
can't
just
stand
move on to
3 lap
something. The
courses.
fact that they didn't turn New Horizons
Mr.
into
White.
the next hit
Yo.
this investor's dream come true is a testament to their values. But like
Yo, Mr. White.
considered,
Yo, Mr. White.
you know, the players were begging for more. This game was so
Jesse, we need to
close
get a
to
Super
being
Horde
something
right now.
So huge, something that could have grown and grown and thrived.
Jesse,
with an
Jesse,
active,
where's the
happy
Super
community
Horde? Jesse,
all the way
Jesse,
until
there's a
next
Spidey
week.
shell
Or maybe
coming for
more
us,
if
Jesse.
Nintendo wanted. They could have just kept updating this one with new content. I mean, it's laudable that Nintendo was satisfied with the very large sum of money that they made from New Horizons, that they didn't need to chase more. But when you're leaving money on the table and the fans are left hungry, as a business, you've kind of messed something up here. New Horizons was a massive praise. It was poised to overtake even Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in sales. For a minute there, it looked like it might become one of the biggest things in the world of gaming. But when
Yeah.
Nintendo failed to capitalize on that early success, things slowed down. The game had legs. It still sold really well over time. Very, very good attach rate with new Switch purchases. But the conversation largely dried up. Millions and millions of people had their fun and then got done with the game and moved on. Again, if Nintendo
Yeah, that's how most games work, Arlo. I don't know.
to a live service game, I get it. And that's cool. But it
we're gonna be top 12, hold up. Start killing.
Adding some more multiplayer-focused content. I mean, personally, I would have spent loads of time hanging out in my friends' towns, treating the game like this
Give me ice cream.
but I couldn't be bothered to connect much at all. It was too lame, limited. I played the game for a bit, a pretty good bit, and then got bored and bounced. And all this to say, we're seeing a very similar situation right now with Mario Kart World. It's not seeing the same kind of
I think
unprecedented
Arlo-
right place at the right time, lightning in a bottle kind of success. But for all the reasons outlined,
Arlo's just gonna like release his next video in like a couple of years, and it's like why Nintendo should start their own country. Why Nintendo should become a sovereign nation. God.
Once more,
Oh,
we circle
God.
back to the
It's
core
over.
of our
It's
foundation.
over. It's
For a
over.
company that doesn't want to deliver
It's
a
not
big
over.
online experience, Nintendo sure is acting like one that does. What is Game Chat for if
Ow.
not playing with your friends? What is this big
What is
open
Game
world
Chat
for
for?
if not creating experiences to share with those friends? Why
Yeah.
are you presenting the new Mario Kart as this big, modern, new experience and still failing to deliver on that promise? I mean, it practically goes without saying, but on top of the empty world, online features are still sorely lacking. We still have barely any options. We still don't have any kind of real progression system like, you know, every other online game ever.
What?
And perhaps most egregious of all, the thing I
The game is
cannot
VR,
fathom, I
doesn't
simply
it?
cannot understand.
What is he asking for?
Where are the events? At first I thought, okay. so
Fuck,
it's
he's
pretty-
right.
The game has no real campaign mode.
Wait,
that
there
utilizes
were
it.
events.
Fine. But of course we're gonna start getting cool events, right? Like Splatoon, these big team tournaments to recharge the whole
I
conversation.
think there was
and
an
get people
event, but
hopping back into
like
the
a few
game
days
over
ago,
and
but I
over
didn't
again.
play
Or
it.
how about events and things you gotta find in the world itself? Keep the world changing.
Oh,
Wrap in all
we're
these
coming
little
up.
mysteries, sprinkling challenges. For 1 week only, we've got players racing from this track to this track, trying to beat each other's time. Rank high enough. and
Begging,
better
I'm
than
begging,
both.
I'm begging.
This weekend, there's
No,
a golden
the
Goomba
bag didn't
hidden
work.
somewhere in the world.
I didn't get that
Go
bag.
find it to unlock a skin or
I-
something.
what?
Throughout the whole month of May, there are red coins hidden
I saw
all
that
over the
failed
place.
trick.
Grab 100
Like,
and
what
get an
was-
achievement.
that
Just something.
whoever that was,
But
they
at the
almost
time of
lost.
this recording, somehow, Nintendo has done none of this. It's been nearly a year since the game launched. Nearly a year. And all we've gotten is a tiny handful of little nothing events no one even talked about. Little
Okay, there
region
are
lock things
events.
that have come and gone with zero fanfare. Even stepping away from the event argument for just a moment, we haven't even gotten new characters and battle modes and stuff. They've given us some pretty good patches that make the game better, sure. But where's the excitement? Where's the hype? DK Bonanza's Emerald Rush
barely
DLC
ever
has
see-
been getting more events than Mario Kart World. There is more hype for Emerald Rush right now. How? Why? And trust me, this isn't simply
Is
a
there-
case of a greedy player who's been spoiled by all these constantly updating live service games. I'm not even that invested in Mario
Yeah, see,
Kart
this
truth
one,
be told,
I
but,
kind of
like,
thought.
I kind of like the idea of being more invested. I liked the idea of being called back to the game every once in a while and enjoying it with everybody. Like with Splatoon. All the events and the hype, that's what keeps me coming back. It's just that it's hard to see
Yeah.
Nintendo's overly simplistic vision for what they're presenting as this big thing.
I'm still not
What
used to him.
could be this big thing?
The new
It's
one.
like they insist on not having their
He
cake
just-
and
he's
not
just kinda
eating it
strange
too.
stick up-
And look,
stick
I know
out
they will
like a
update
donkey
the game.
thumb.
Right now, it's May. I would not be surprised in the slightest if next month we get a big direct and they announce some big update for Mario Kart World. Or maybe even some fancy DLC. But the
In your
Switch 2
dreams,
generation
Arlo,
has
in
been
your
so
dreams.
weird. The system is selling well, but there's this pervasive sense that Nintendo is not really delivering what we expected. They're not making as much of a case for their new system as one would hope. We thought the system would just explode out of the gate, and there would be another huge Switch craze. Everyone playing,
upset.
everyone scrambling to pick up a system. But instead, we got a Mario Kart that feels
Oh,
weirdly
Fishbone
empty,
takes
lacking
it.
in content for a modern game, especially one with so much potential. We've
But,
spent
yes,
nearly a year without anything new. If they do give us some stuff soon, then it's just weird that we had to wait a
No
year for
treats.
something to actually do. I get that
Mr.
this
White
stuff
got
takes
eliminated
time,
previous round.
but you had time. A lot of it. This game took forever.
Nice try.
Oh, and if they dare to charge
You
for
just
new
showed
content,
this after.
especially content that actually
try.
utilizes the world, it's going to be a very, very bad PR day. I can tell you that much. You cannot deliver a kind of empty, boring experience and then charge for the privilege of it being interesting. I mean, like, if you're gonna charge $80 for a game, an unprecedented amount of money, Players need to feel completely satisfied before you start trying to wring more moolah out of them. I mean, geez, we haven't even brought up the $80 thing yet. I mean, it's like every Mario Kart is just a bunch of tracks with nothing to do but race with other people and no other content or progression system or anything. What more do you want? Well,
Yeah.
for $80? I don't know, but more than this, Nintendo still hasn't managed to justify that price. A few years from now, we could be looking at a completely different video. You may even be watching this right now and thinking, boy, this video is tracking up. But one last time,
This video is
my
only
point
10
not
days.
that Mario Kart World a
It is
failure or a
it is
bad
much
game.
more up to date
Nintendo very well
than
may have
I think it was the last
huge
knockout tour,
plans.
dude.
I mean, this
I feel like I can only do
absolutely
so
is
many of
something
these
they're
because
gonna support in
before it's
one
like,
way or
okay, I'm
another
sick
through
of
the
this.
entire generation. It's just that they really
I don't hate
need to
knockout
get
tour.
this
It's just
one out of the
it's a
park.
little
They
exhausting,
simply
you know.
did not do it. They misjudged
It is
the
funny,
appeal of the game. Have
this-
even fought the players over
Mario
it.
Kart
And they
8
failed to
Deluxe
build
is
it up
like,
as an
I feel like
earnest
very
experience.
adamant on
The
not
reason
like
anyone and
having
everyone
anything that goes over like 3 minutes on 150.
Considering the stakes,
And then like this game has knockout tour and it's got like the 5-minute rainbow mode.
just like Animal Crossing New Horizons, Mario Kart World feels like one of Nintendo's biggest, most wildly profitable and successful screw-ups ever. But however you feel about Mario Kart World, please let me know down in the comments.
It's not a big deal.
Please also be kind though, because I am only 7 years old.
What? Arlo's only 7 years old? What? Dude, he's been doing child labor the whole time. YouTube is like his job. Why do you say that? Well, videos are over. Fuck videos. How's it going? Today I did laundry. That's about it. I mean, it's an afternoon, early afternoon stream. I got up at like 10. This is a Saturday. Who gives a fuck? I will say the ski slopes tracks I think are a little boring. Thematically cool, not very interesting. They're just very wide. My mushroom. I'll never be able to dodge these on this wide ass track. Oh. You get what you deserve. Good joke. The Joker played Mario. I don't have anything to fill that up with. They announced a Persona 6. I don't feel anything about it. It's like there's nothing other than it's green. Like, okay. It's like, yeah, they finished their boring fantasy game. They go back to a boring high school game. Presumably high school. I'm sorry, man. They're never gonna make the adult Persona game that you want. I do wonder, like, it's only gotten more popular with each iteration starting in 3. But like, I feel like it's hit. Oh, I love it. I love this. I love that track. I love skipping through that. It's so good. Again, some of these are better than others. What I'm wondering is Persona 3 6 going to hold that like gorilla grip that Persona 5 had? It feels like, I don't know, like Persona 3 successful, Persona 4 also very more successful, But like it took time. Like when my sibling showed me that game way back, I didn't know shit about it. Like, what's this yellow bullshit? It is some yellow bullshit, and I was right. It is some yellow bullshit, as opposed to the blue bullshit or the red bullshit or the new green bullshit. You are the greenest game ever. Like 5 was like crazy, because it just drew in like a lot of new players. People like completely new to Megami Tensei or anything else. Which is bizarre because that game has like a 6-hour fucking tutorial period before you hit a game quickly. I've never understood it. Maybe I should revisit that. Maybe I should revisit it. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't. The problem is I have better things to do. I think it's definitely, you know, I can understand why JRPGs are such a teen genre, because teens got nothing better to do. They're long. I love JRPGs, don't get me wrong. Sorry Pirate King Boo, I kind of fucked you over there. Alright, I gotta make the stream more interesting. We're Coin Popper now. I already have him unlocked. We are going to go against traffic. Yeah, don't like the game. I can't deny it had massive influence. And it's like, I don't know, I think with video games something investors don't want to hear, CEOs don't want to hear. I think there's kind of a cap to how many people on Earth will enjoy your game at a point. Take this game. I don't think it could do any. I don't think it could put. Come on! I got lucky. I was begging. Wait. Okay. Just barely enough. Oh my god. It's over. Putting food in the American City track. Imagine a burger. Gonna get ya. Wait, that guy's name is Ready Player One. What the hell? My favorite book. I watched that movie. I don't remember shit about it. Wait. I could do this. Unless I get some technique. Which is likely. Oh my god. Really? I suck at Knockout Tour. How did this happen on stream? That's crazy. Look at that points rolling in. No progression, my ass. I mean, to be fair, it is very quick to, like, I already have 6,000. I did it. I'm so awesome. I'm gonna take a lovely photo. Take a picture. It'll last longer. Is there a room code? Oh no, I've just been doing with randoms. I'm gonna be honest, I've been on 2 hours. I think this might be it for the stream. Unless people really want to talk about Persona 6, but I don't want to talk. Even I don't want to talk about Persona 6, man. It's just green. But yeah, this is. Fuck! I don't feel jaded. The experiment has been a failure, which is honestly exactly what I thought would happen. Yo, I'm blocking traffic. Yeah, I don't know what this guy's talking about. This game is awesome. You can block traffic. Yo, I'm making a pileup. I'm making a pileup. These things just fall apart. So good. But yeah, I don't know. I guess playing this game a year late did help temper my fried chicken expectations. And now I'm like, now it's just like, well, I think it's fun to drive around Mario's world. I don't know, like if this game had battle passes and all the new shit in this game, multiplayer game, I'd probably be less inclined to play it. I think Arlo had a good point about intrinsic motivation rather than extrinsic. I don't really care about stickers, but like, I think collecting this stuff is fun, just because it's fun to collect. I've been around the city. Okay, yeah, there's 3 I cannot find. Ground City is 10 for some reason. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if I have enough people who watch me to watch this, who watch me, who have this game, who would want to play in a private room. Maybe someday. I don't know. Maybe if I decide to do another impromptu stream of this again. Look at that shit. It's fucking AI. Look. If it, I wouldn't show my mouse cursor. Look, there's the. I guess there isn't a mouse cursor. This, see, there's an A at the start, and then if you look really closely at the L, it looks like an I. And the cars don't look like that. This shit is AI, dog. This game is depraved. But yeah, thanks to the few of you who came and watched. I figure I wouldn't get a lot of stream views afternoon, because it just doesn't happen. But I'm just thinking UFO. I know you can unlock characters through this, but like I like never. I never get them in situations where there's characters I haven't gotten before. Like there's one that spawns next to some spikes, and I saw it and I got it, and I'm like, oh well, I already got Spike. They're never gonna give me the fish. Oh, there's one. Perfect. That's what I call progress. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching 2 videos that were kind of mediocre. I didn't think they were bad videos. I thought they had arguments that were presentable. But I just don't agree that much overall. I'm sorry. File select. A good way to end the stream, file select. When you're busting up, but you keep sucking. When you're busting up, but you keep sucking. When you bet you keep sucking.